gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stanton with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Morovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep my congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. To spoon. Rastafari. Kilibamba.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stanton with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Morovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep my congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. To spoon. Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV.
Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV. Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment. spoon to get your information.
From the top of Bologisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.
Special one,
107.5
and your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon.
Okay, folks, this is Spoon 107.5 FM, and we also live on Fabric 101.1 and Super 95.5 FM in Liberia. We also live on our Facebook TV page, Spoon TV Live, and on YouTube. So wherever it is, this is how we love to welcome you to today's edition of Spoon Talk. Let me say hello to you, James Gudeflomo and Dr. Francine Richardson. Good afternoon, good evening to you guys.
Good evening, Honorable Damo and Slanger. Damo not natural Slanger.
Man, if you don't know how it's pronounced, just kindly ask me. So, oh my man, how you can pronounce your name, and I'll just do it for you free of charge.
I said Damo natural, and I'm only I give you.
I'm now a Madrid man. Natural place.
Good evening, Dr. Richardson.
Yeah, hello. It's good seeing you too today. I'm enjoying the fun. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, ma'am.
That's
Come
good.
on,
Good to see you. Always good to see you. Good day.
Yes.
I called you a few times today. You are busy, huh?
When you called me, I was rushing home. I left from campus very late today. I came home not too long, less than 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
Yeah, I was on the bus coming when you called.
check your inbox. I sent you a few minutes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so just if you can't help me out with that, would be great. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it. As soon as I came, I started on it right away.
Okay, so Liberians, we would like to welcome you to Spoon. I'm just following Diamond and Slangas. Welcome. I know he already welcomed you guys, but it's such a pleasure having you here today. I'm so excited to share with you some of the trending news that are happening in our country, because I know that is the reason why you come here. You come here to listen to the different views that we have on issues, and then you can filter it the way that you want to, and be informed about how to move our country forward. You can engage in informed conversations about what is happening in Liberia. We don't have all the answers. We do have a lot of recommendations. We make a lot of observations, and it's up to you. All of us are Liberians. It's going to take a partnership with Liberians who are in Liberia and Liberians who are outside of Liberia to move Liberia forward. So, Diamond, I'm going to kind of go to you to start giving us some trending issues. The last time I enjoyed the way how you are giving us the news. I can enjoy your own action-oriented. You got sound bite, sound effect in the way that you can give us the news. We all got our different style, and you have yours. So hit it. Tell us.
Well, as usual, Dr. Richardson, I always love to start with the not so usual, things like we have hard news and soft news. And I always love to start with the soft news. Okay. So today something happened. LEC employees are usually termed as corrupt. You know, they involved in bribery and all those kind of stuff, and people have accused LEC employees of being the ones contributing to the rampant rate of power theft in our country. But today I've termed this first story a few good ones. You know, a few good ones. Today, a couple of LEC employees of the anti-power theft team, headed by one Sylvester Tugbe, today refused 700 United States dollars that was given to them in a check, you know, rating as a check, when they went to an institution called Smart Liberia. You know, they went to Smart Liberia to conduct the usual power theft operations, and they found out that that particular institution, according to them, and they presented the meter, that particular institution was involved in power theft. They have a 3-phase meter, and that meter had been bypassed. And so when those LEC guys decided to cut the line, according to them, the CEO of that institution came there and gave them 700 United States dollars check that they should leave the meter and all of that. But they accepted the check and reported the matter to Madam Mary Burr, who's the director general there and also the head of the power theft task force. So today they were applauded by Madam Burr. So that's a good one. So I love to say to Mr. Sylvester Tugbe, I've learned that it wasn't his first time of doing such. He's part of the few good ones there at LEC. People were saying, "Oh my man, why would you do such a thing to turn the money over? You should have gone to cash the check." And he said, no, he stands for integrity and he stands for value. So I love all of us to tell him thank you, he and his entire team. You know, these are the kind of news we want to hear coming out of Liberia, that people can refuse $7 in this kind of, you know, economy that we have. Yeah.
So if I can just interrupt you a little bit, I want to join you in thanking Sylvester Tupek. Thank you so much. You, he, and his team. That's exactly what we want to hear. Bravo to Mirabra as well for congratulating him and supporting him. We hope to hear more news like that coming out of LEC. I mean, Mirabra got all her different ways and stuff like that. I don't like all of them, but I think with the LEC, she's doing a fantastic job. That's what I say.
Me, before I talk, I want to hear the other side.
Okay.
The first thing you should ask yourself is, how did they get a check? How did they get a check? The check is there, it's signed, they showed it as evidence, they showed the meter, and even Madam Burr said they should go to the to Smart Liberia and arrest people there, you know.
And they give the check back to Smart Liberia?
No, the check is evidence. So you need evidence to say somebody tried to bribe you. It's not just word of mouth. The first thing is, how did you get the check? You know, it's dated today. How did you get it? And to what purpose were you given a 700 United States dollars check? You know, do you do work for them?
Until I hear otherwise, I am excited that somebody...
Small Liberia get funky. They will say a fake check.
Well, until I hear otherwise, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Sylvester Cooper and your group for refusing $700 and didn't take a bribe. This is exactly what we need to move our country forward. So now, if we hear something else, as James has been very doubtful, James, I'm not surprised that you are doubtful. You know, of course, you know, when you have to see that kind of thing, you have to hear that kind of soft news, right?
And you see, that guy who did that, they should make him the supervisor for the fee. And you see,
remember the guy who found the money the last time on the bike in the County? Even we at Sponier praised him a lot.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, once in a while, it happens in our country. So I'm happy to hear about it. Yes, once in a while, I hate to say once in a while, but it happens. Thank you, Tama, for bringing that soft news. So hit us with a high one now.
All right. So today, as we all, or most of us are aware, but anyway, we still bring on these trending issues. Today, there was a major opposition press conference hosted by 7 different political parties, minus the ANC. But we had other parties there forming, you know, major parties within the opposition bloc in Liberia. They were headed by the Unity Party, and that press conference was held at the headquarters of the Unity Party. So they flagged several national issues, including the attack on the former Chief Justice apartment, not her apartment, but her complex, I should say, at her house. They flagged the issue of the weapons cache that was found by the LNP, and up to now, they flagged the issue of not having any updated, report concerning where the investigation is. The last I heard about the cache of weapon that was seized was we were asking the Americans to help us in the investigation. That was the last update we did get. We haven't gotten any updates as to whether or not someone has been arrested. Those who were arrested, we learned that they were freed and stuff like that. So they also flagged the issue of the census, so I've dropped this one. We not go agree, they're saying they are not going to agree to the preliminary results.
What word did you use? What kind of English you use there?
We not go agree.
Okay, go ahead.
James, what you
You said good day.
Where are the major oppositions that went there today?
I said
we passed that story already.
The ANC wasn't at the press conference. If that's what you want me to reiterate, the ANC wasn't at the press conference. Yeah. But we had the Unity Party, the Rainbow Alliance, the MDR of Prince Johnson. We also had the LPP of Tewon Gonglo. We had the ALP, the Liberty Party. They formed fragment of the Liberty Party, or a faction of the Liberty Party, if you want to put it that way. They formed part of this press conference as well. Whether this was another indirect way of these opposition parties letting the CDC know that these are those parties that we have in our corner. So they are here at this press conference.
So let me interrupt you small. Let me interrupt you a bit. When we were coming out, when we used to go to the riverside, when it rained, you go to the riverside when the area slippery. When you're ready to fall, that energy that came from you, hold it. Like how you the party looking now.
But it's all about numbers as well, James. If you look at this,
when the area slippery, you feel the energy that comes from you will hold it.
So are you saying the United Party is that desperate that they just grabbing onto anything? The MDR, can you classify the MDR as anything?
The entire Rainbow Alliance, all the parties that came together, I think about 9+, they got less than 2%.
That was then. But these numbers are not static and just sitting there. MPC was there as well. Whether the Rainbow Alliance have done a better job in recruiting more members and getting more people to subscribe to their ideologies, the numbers will tell come October 10th.
Freeman contested in 2 consecutive elections. He got less than 3%.
How sure are you he's now also gathering more support onto himself? You saw that when Mr. Freeman was on Spoon Talk, you saw how many persons, were clinging onto his thoughts, his ideologies, his methods.
I join both of you.
People are going to follow you. Others are going to join other parties. But if you say, look, we because this person has 0.0 the last election, so they don't matter, you have to bring as many as you can get.
This is just another path or another sound that if these are the parties that will collaborate with Unity Party, it means President Weah has a very big edge ahead of the October 10th. Let's be serious. Damo, you and I, we cover elections in Liberia, and we get an election result. You can go. I don't want to bring it out. You go right there and bring the past election result. Damo, you are a journalist. We discuss issue according to what happened yesterday. We look at what happened yesterday and predict the future. Rainbow Alliance, about 9 parties, they can't reach correct 2%. That the people you go carry is a major opposition. I thought ANC was there. I was in school today when
let's take it as this, right? You have the Rainbow Alliance, 2%.
Where
9 parties, 2%.
Rainbow Alliance just come in.
Okay, gentlemen. We have to move on.
James is trying, Madam Dr. Richardson.
Just discussing. This is actually on the agenda to discuss today.
James is trying to discredit this particular alliance and this merger. This alliance.
But one party went there.
As if it is not something credible or something that's going to pose some reasonable threat.
So
That one
Liberia,
party did that thing today, Damo. Continue that one party did it. Now collaboration.
7 parties were present.
you share your views. I would love to hear your views too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will just give us the news, and we'll come back to discuss this issue.
Damo,
Because
go ahead, sir.
we actually had a press conference today and presented
So,
a resolution.
They went to the legislature. They presented a resolution competition to the Senate and to the House of Representatives that the census result is not credible. It was marred by technical difficulties, and as such, the census preliminary reports or the entire census in itself should not be used to conduct any election, including the ensuing election, as well as used for any purpose or purposes in Liberia. So that was a major statement made by the Unity Party and those other parties that were in attendance today, and they've affixed their signatures. The MDR was there of Prince Johnson. So whether or not the MDR is going to be seen with the Unity Party throughout these days until election or whatever it is, they were part of that press conference today. So we skip that and move to another story here. Many of us have seen the video on social media where 2 pistols, one kind of look khaki-like or kind of gold-like, if you want to call it that way, and another was silver and black, where this guy is said to be a used car dealer, and he was seen with 2 pistols. And I made a couple of calls today, and it is said that it is Lorenzo Penham, who's the Deputy Director for Operations of the LDEA, who instituted that arrest. I spoke with him a couple of minutes coming on to the show. He said, nope, he wasn't the one. He has got no idea. He just saw the video on social media. He was not the one who executed the arrest. But he has spoken to 102, and the police said they are investigating the matter. I also spoke with Moses Carter, who seemed kind of confused. Like, he did not know whether or not there was a video as such on social media. And he promised to have reached out to the Small Arms Division of the LNP and get back to me. Several attempts to get Mr. Carter up to press time didn't prove, successful. But from all what it seems, the guy wasn't moved. When the person who was instituting the arrest there, I got you on live video and all that stuff, he was like, this is my face, this is my face. And it has raised a lot of concerns in the country. Like, who's this guy? We know him to be a used car dealer. Why is he having 2 pistols?
Exactly.
And those guns don't look like
carry arm in the country.
Yeah, and those guns don't look like old guns. They're brand new guns. If you look at them, they don't look old. They're brand new. Yeah. How did he get those guns? And how safe and secure are we in this particular country? And if the police can tell you, we reaching out to this other branch, we reaching out to this other division, I don't know who did this and who did that, then it raises the question as to who's watching who. And for some people, we should have immediate action into investigating who's this guy. How did he get these weapons? Because if citizens are seen with guns like that, meaning anybody can bring guns in the country and have a gun on them, and they could inflict serious bodily harm to anybody or injuries on anybody, and will be left there. So that is that. We really want the police to come out immediately and let us know to what extent their investigation has gone to. And if they have arrested this person because he showed his face, we should have seen a press release up to now that he has been invited for questioning. And how did he get those guns? There are other talks in the corridors that he's probably a covert NSA operative. That's why he wasn't afraid and all of that. But we don't know. All we know is we need the police to come and let us know how did an ordinary Liberian who's a used car dealer, whether it's a cover or not, we want to know how did he get the gun. I also saw a post that said he's a driver for Nathaniel McGill, the recently resigned Minister of State, made contacts, and he said no, he's not a driver to former Minister McGill. And so that's that for the guns. But we need the LNP to let us know how come he had 2 pistols in his possession. So
and let me just talk something about that gun issue.
Yes. Hold on, James. Diamond, are you done? Salimatu, welcome. We're just getting trending news here. Diamond, are you done with all
I have 2 more stories.
Go ahead.
Can we just speed it up for us because we're reaching our 4 o'clock. We're approaching our 4 o'clock.
Okay,
time.
ma'am. So the U.S. has announced that two top anti-corruption, officials will be in Liberia on the 13th to the 15th of March. Um,
Wow.
One is from USAID, and the other. Let me just give you the story quickly. These two individuals are expected in country. So, these two top officials are the U.S. Coordinator on Global Anti-Corruption, Richard Nephew, and USAID Senior Advisor to the Administrator and Executive Director of the Anti-Corruption Task Force, Shannon Green. So they'll be coming to Liberia, and the purpose of their visit, we want to know. We heard the story that some 800,000 of USAID money was misused or allegedly, squandered in Margibi County. Whether that has led to the USAID, director and advisor on anti-corruption coming to Liberia. We want to know, but the Americans have made this visit public that these two anti-corruption officials will be in the country. Whether their visit is going to lead to a new set of sanctions, that's another thing for us to find out once they're in country, and they will let us know their findings. So quickly, the JFD hospital in Tapeta, Jackson F. Doe. 2 days they've been out of electricity at that major health installation. No LEC and their main generator had an issue, but we've been able to make contact that they've been able to restore the electricity there at that major health facility in Nimba County, which is a good news, for everybody, because we're talking about lives and the well-being of Liberian citizens. For a major health facility to be out of current for 2 days, that is alarming. So
Yes.
those are my trending issues. And one Liberian player has been, suspended for indiscipline by the coach. So Coach
Okay.
Keita is stamping his authority. Brain Sumawolo has been suspended for gross indiscipline. So there you
Thank
have
you,
it.
Diamond. Thank you so much. I like when you give us
Dama, come back. Why are you rushing for? Don't wrap up, Papa.
You're coming back. Don't worry. Just getting small water to drink. Good day. I your owner.
The gun issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Practically nothing is going to come out. The police is not going to give you any statement. No security agency in Liberia is going to give you any statement. If credible information that I got, I know the guy who in the video, he's Shiggy. I knows him. I think Shiggy knows Baron Brown. Even Baron knows him well. I know Shiggy very well. Where I used to take my car for repair to JR place, that way he used to be every time. I know Shiggy very well. During early time, Shiggy was well known in Liberia as a used car seller. Now, the information I got, where they did that video from, is right around Total on Capital Bypass, right behind Total.
Mm-hmm.
There were Sekou Kalasco. He has one of his used car place there. I'm told, my source told me that Shiggy is selling used cars for Kalasco. And it was to that place where they booked him at, on the Jalatan route. At the back of Total is the Jalatan route.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
Yeah, the route linking Jalatan is Capital
Not
Bypass.
LU. Mm-hmm.
Yes, beyond LU there. So Shiggy is well connected. Let's leave it. Don't talk about it. You go up, you cannot, the police will not do nothing. Even if they come out, they will just do a cover up. We hear if they do it, that the agency suspend me. If the police just come out and arrest Shiggy, suspend me from the show.
Amen. That's sad. Though.
Nothing is going to happen.
We're not
My
supposed
source
to
is very credible because he lives right around the used car garage where Kalasco has his garage. One of his used car garage. One of them where he lives. He told me he was around when the incident took place. So you see police people say we hear about we investigating that flag.
Okay, that's sad news. You know, the thing about this, about Liberia, we're such a small country and interconnected. Like, you think everybody sort of know each other. Like, you have given the whole history behind this man and how you know him and all of that stuff. So you know, and then we established here that people shouldn't carry arms in the country, and people are carrying guns, and nothing seemed to come out of it. But I want to welcome Salimatu and Al Hussein to the show. Thank you both for being here today. I'm looking forward to having a spirited conversation. Again, very interactive and involved conversation. about trending issues in our country. I just want to take about 5 or 10 minutes to do what I like to do, just welcome our people to the show. As I'm doing that, I think I put the outline in the chat room so you guys can just take a look at that. We don't have to say with the outline, we tend to deviate anyway. So just to let you guys know. I want to welcome Bishop Rudy King to the show. Thank you for being here today. I also want to welcome Destiny Ebony Dogarge to the show. Strecker Do, welcome to the show. Eden Hazard, welcome. Thank you for being here. Archie Seaton, welcome. Elder James C. Bly from Hartford, Connecticut. Thank you for being here. Randall Thomas, thank you for coming. Yasa Goba Washington. Hello, Yasa. My sis, it's good to see you here. When Gwenna S. Bima, thank you from you watching from New Jersey. Thank you for being here. Eric Finley, thank you. Clarence Benson from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada is also here today. Man Jennison is from Somalia, Canada, Somalia. We're traveling now. Edward Castle is watching from Upper Chichester, Pennsylvania. Call Kid Dulu, thank you for joining. Bonnie, Sonny, Leo, Massaquet, thank you for being here. I'm going to stop in like 2 more minutes and then I'm stopping Anthony Nimley because I have a lot of things to cover today. Anthony is watching from New Jersey. Emmanuel Lamini is watching from Cyprus. We have a lot of things to cover. I want to just welcome all of our audience. It's great having all of you here today to join the conversation. Please feel free to comment, and every now and then I look over there and post some of your questions or important comments that you've made to add value to the topic that we're discussing today. I also want to give a happy belated birthday to Mommy Tarpy Moore. Mommy is an avid watcher. I have not seen her lately, but I was just busy and I didn't get to celebrate her birthday. But Mommy, if you're listening, happy birthday. We are glad to have you here as a viewer of Spoon. Okay, so we're waiting for a few people to roll in, and you will see when they roll on. Mr. Fagon, it will be here today. Mr. Warzy is also expected to be here, but we're going to start and they will just join us. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to tell us what's on your mind, and you can speak about anything relating to the trending issues, or either you can speak about what is actually on your mind, something that you read about that we didn't discuss. Sadamata, I want to start with you, and then we'll go to Al Hussein, and then I am also going to state what's on my mind, and then of course Good Day is going to state what's on his mind as well. Sadamatu?
Yeah, well, good evening again. Happy Friday, Junior. As I like to call Thursday.
Friday, Junior.
Friday, Junior. There's two things quickly on my mind. Of course, there was a lot of chat going around that they had arrested Councillor Scott. I did confirm with someone, a family member actually, who said they spoke with her and they did go to arrest her, but they were prevented from doing so. Just want to say, this is a lawyer. This is a very smart lawyer. So I don't know what these people are trying to do, deflect from what's happening. They should be investigating. Instead, they're trying to change the narrative again because one of the top men were mentioned in this whole case. So it makes sense if they should be investigating and not just trying to change the narrative. The second thing that's on my mind, I actually just got a clip that Miss her name, Mariah Lucan, the woman who was arrested for child trafficking, she was found guilty. She was found guilty today of child trafficking. This is reported by Front Page, but they didn't say how long she would be in jail. They just said that, the parents of the 2 children that she's charged with, she's been known. There's been other allegations against her for, I think, 35 children. She had an adoption agency before. But these 2 children actually were sent to the U.S. The parents says that, they were not aware. They didn't give permission. She didn't follow none of the adoption guidelines set by the country. So she was arrested. This was about 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And today she was found guilty. There were two other people named as her accomplices, but the cases were dropped against those two guys because they said they didn't have sufficient evidence. So at least, something is working in our favor. Now, I think the next thing for the parents, they want to know where their children are. And so, we'll keep praying for those parents.
Wow. Salamatu, those are very important news that you just gave us, especially the one relating to Gloria Scott, Councilor Gloria Scott. I'm just asking a question like, don't you need a warrant or at least to arrest someone in our country? And when you have to have like, background information. So that's just a question that I have, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I just, to arrest someone, at least in other parts of the world, you have to have a warrant to do that. And to get a warrant, a judge have to see, at least from my knowledge, I've never been arrested before, but I've been, reading a lot, and I watch a lot of other TV and stuff like that. But a judge has to see at least there's a compelling and convincing argument to issue warrant and arrest someone.
No, you're absolutely right. Our system, the system in Liberia is very, very similar, mirrors the US system. So a lot of things are similar. We just don't do it, but it is very similar. And even if they said they got a warrant, I'm sure, that Dr. Richardson, I've seen some, I know for a FACT, the Liberian government deported an Indian businessman.
Yeah, you spoke about that.
Without the court. They literally took him from his house to NSA to the airport. And he's been out of the country since then. So there are plenty of things that can happen in Liberia. So yeah.
And so this is why we come here to speak. So a lot of people say, oh, what about what happened in America and stuff like that? Yeah, things are happening in America, but other things that happen in Liberia that, we're not sure about, that we got to talk about it as well. And, and the second thing, you talk about the orphanage situation with the woman the young
Mariah looking. Apparently she was running for representative too.
Wow. Okay. And what I kind of reminded me of, I just recently lost a 29-year-old niece in Liberia. She left her, I want to say, almost a year-old child, and my family has been trying to adopt the child, to bring the child over, because there's nobody. The grandmother lives here, all the family lives here, and that one niece of mine was in Liberia with some of the other family members. And it's even more, it's difficult now to adopt children in Liberia, honestly. So we're going through legal reasons in Liberia, but it's been challenging. It's not like before, where it was a little bit easy, but it's harder now. Yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I think Canada, I was reading the rest of the article, Canada has stopped the adoption from Liberia. There was a hold in Liberia one time. I think it's been lifted. But yeah, because of her, it makes it very difficult for honest people to do the right thing. So thanks, Levy Thompson. She reminded that this woman was actually running for a representative.
Thanks, Levy. Levy is actually my childhood sister friend from Bombay. Hussein, your thoughts? What's on your mind?
Well, a lot of things on my mind, but let me talk about the Gloria Scott stuff first before. The thing about this whole case, and the reason why I'm not even, I'm just watching it. Once the government chose to play this thing out in the court of public opinion, at this point, it really doesn't matter what they do. Arrest her, call forensic investigator, even if they could go back in town and bring one of the prophets to say this is a kid, except when somebody confess. Even that confession, it will be questioned. So right now, in the court of public opinion, everybody will choose side, and the case, I'm afraid, they'll just go cold like most of the other cases, because people have already chosen side. The people don't trust the government. The people don't trust our security institution. The people don't believe that we get a fair investigation. So it is what it is. Other thing I saw today, a few political parties was at the Unity Party headquarters today. I don't know whether could they talk about that. I think Spoon was there.
Yeah, we will talk about that's on the agenda
Yeah,
today.
yeah. All right. So I will save the meat for
Yes.
that was interesting. And one of them happened to be Simeon Freeman's party, and he was on Spoon Network a couple of days ago, and but I will save some of my thought for that. That was the second thing that I saw going on. And other than that, I will chime in throughout the program and see what's going on. I think those are the only two things that I actually noticed.
Yes, I was saying thank you for being here today. I want to welcome Mr. Fagon. Mr. Fagon, you want to tell us what's on your mind? Is we just in our opening remarks segment of the program?
So let me say good afternoon to all of you wonderful people, and I'm enjoying the weather here in Tennessee. It's sunny. We're feeling so good here. For the last 3 days, it's like we're in summer, so we're wearing short trousers, t-shirts, and stuff, and walking around. Having said that, I concluded an investigation yesterday, and I was trying to find out exactly how this whole de facto army with Jefferson Koji started, where the initial funding came from, and the first batch of people and all of that. I've been working on it. So today I broke the news to the Liberian people in my podcast, and it had to do with Madison Tukpa. Of course, he's the brother of one of our panelists here, a professional and career soldier who was contacted by Jefferson Koji when Jefferson learned about his upcoming contract with the central bank. And by the way, this training took place at the Camp Ware. This place is called Camp Ware. It's in Carisburg. Camp Solomon Ware is a Liberian military base. And Nathaniel Patriot was putting up the 50 grand every month for this activity. And it had to do with training the guys, getting them ready for what we're now witnessing today. But I made contact with Mad Dog, and he said, look, I need to really speak to this issue too. So we're hopeful that Mad Dog is going to come on tomorrow. I mean, everybody know him to be Mad Dog, Madison Tukpa. And hopefully I'm praying to God that he comes on tomorrow to give his side of the story, because the story is out there and it's well known now. In February of last year, the last recruitment was done, and the way and manner in which it was done, President, we are granted 500 clemencies, pardons to criminals, excluding, it was McGill that read the statement out to the public, excluding rapists and murderers. But of the 500, about 60 of them were actual murderers and some of the most hardened criminal in our prison system. This was masterminded by Jefferson Koji and Eddie Trawale, as the story goes. And so, as the story goes, they both masterminded it and infused those criminals' names amongst the 500. And that's why the government up to today have not published the list of the 500 persons. And as a matter of fact, as the story goes, which is for the most part, we can confirm, Barney Samuka was one of those. So the focus turned to Barney Samuka. But Barney Samuka's stuff was partial clemency. You see what I mean? And so because of that, these guys came out under the arrangement, the alleged arrangement with Koji and Trawale, that they will have to work on OPS, which is operations for the regime. So they were the last batch. We don't know where they've disappeared to, but coming out since the 22nd of February last year, it's been 1 year now, we're witnessing all these bad things happening in the country. They were amongst the 500. So the challenge to the government is to release the list and let the investigation continues. Thankfully, we've made contact with Mad Dog, and he's willing to speak to this issue. Having said that, I released some documents that come from the Law and Democracy Group to that was with them. Somehow we lay our hands on it, and I released them to Good Day. They were sent there, but you know, Fagon has eyes in the skies, foot on the ground, hands all around the place. So I managed to lay my hands on it, and one of the ones I want James Goodey to put out, there are actually two. One is asking the Redemption Hospital medical officer, who on the document says that the person died upon arrival or died before they got there. That's what he's saying, which is consistent with what the guy said on the video.
So, Mr. Falcon, can you hold that thought a little bit?
Let me just get you the second document so James can fish it out. I want to talk about the other one now, which is consistent with that video. The second one now is the Crime Services Division. Clearly indicating on the document that the body should be released to the family, and that they are probing an investigation which clearly shows that the girl died of, I'm quoting and see my two finger, stabbing. Is that the thing Hassan and his brother can be talking out Hussein? If the Crime Services Division say the girl died by stabbing, what are you going to waste our money for now? So James will put those documents up so people can see them.
Yeah.
And there is a strong rumor now, before you go to your program, that, you know, when the people went to the family Simose's funeral home, they were denied. That other one part, you broke it right here, you discuss it. But here is the question. When they enter in question, as you see on this document, call Simose. Simose say he already had instruction to clear the body. The question the family is confused about, who authorized Simose? Who told him to come for the body? It's the same Moses with the three little boys, remember? So again, controversy there, as Fadiga says, it's almost like a movie. How you can call your movie not that first? And I won't work it in. Every day we go watch one, tomorrow they get another one, tomorrow they get another one. It can't end.
Yeah.
Serious.
I know soap opera or what kind of opera?
Yeah, it's soap opera.
Well, how you call it?
It's soap opera.
My people, your cow. You were forced on to speak series in our country.
Yeah, for you, man. Listen, thank you for joining us, Mr. Falcon. It's a pleasure to always be able to provide information to Liberians that come from all over. I want to also thank Mr. Wasi for joining us. I want to thank Mr. Gray for joining us. I want to hear you guys, Mr. Falcon, if you're taking 2 minutes of your time, so I'll give you 1 minute to tell us what's on your mind, because we have a whole program to go to. And then, of course, I saw James Goodey just left. Mr. Gray, what's on your mind quickly?
Well, in consonance with the International Women's Day yesterday, interestingly, a group of Afghani women are coming up with something called the apartheid against womanhood, against gender. The reason that is important, it's like crimes against humanity, because they're making that if you discriminate on people because of their gender, most so being women, that such an act is elevated to the level of crimes against humanity. It's important for most of how we treat our women at home in Liberia, and those women who came up with that initiative believe that women are treated differently, they're discriminated upon because of their gender. And also the U.S. government paid homage to two women. One is the first and only Mongolian general who is a lady, and that brings to mind our own general in our armed forces. And if she continues to do what she's doing, chances are she might be recognized for her contribution to humanity. Those two activities, stand on my mind as I speak. Can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Mr. Wazi, thank you for being here. Give me your thoughts. Oh, Mr. Wazi?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
You keep having noise, though.
You see, we got noise in the background?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Somebody's on a mic talking or something. You okay?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, except where you want me to change my
But man, I
location.
think you should do the thing for your cabin. Because
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
You think so, right?
Yeah, because we're hearing you. But anyway, tell us your 2 minutes. Let's see if we can hear anything.
Well, quickly, I'm actually concerned about what is happening with this whole former Chief Justice Gloria Musso-Scott and the quote-unquote government of Liberia. And the other issue I've got to do with the students in Philippines from Legis. I think you told me already that you will refer it to maybe the weekend for discussion.
Yeah.
Those students have been technically abandoned.
Yes.
And generally, our national insecurity problem, the issue of women's rights in Liberia, and our own definition of law and order. And President Weah is expected in the U.S. What are some of the bottlenecks? What do we expect? How prepared are we on this side to receive our president? The United States government position on some of the issues happening back home as it relates to economic governance, as it relates to national security, as it relates to the 2023 general and presidential elections, considering all of the happenings ahead of the conduct of the elections. How does this indicators speak to our national security? How does it speak to the possibility of a fraudulent elections, quote unquote, civil disorder, and respect for the rule of law? Basically, these are some of the issues I would love to flag onto this edition of Spoon Talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Worsey.
Dr. Richardson.
Yes?
There was one thing, I'm sorry, I know I didn't say much during my time, but there was one thing that just came to mind. I heard that the students at the university that attacked that the guy from the finance ministry, how do you call him?
Eloshas Howe.
Elisha Howard. I heard that some of those students were being expelled, and that the government were prevailing on the administration to expel one or two of those students, or a couple of them. And I thought that was very disturbing. I don't know how true it is. I'm still trying
so
to
we just say unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed, yeah. It's unconfirmed. Yeah.
Some of our people will work the story.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I hope not too.
I'm contacting the Secretary of Soup right now.
Okay, good day. Good day.
Good day is a soupist. Good day, I have the whole list with me.
Well, let me just tell my just stay with us. There are developing news that are coming up in multiple ways. You heard Mr. Falcon tell you about the developing news involving Madison Tokpa and the small unit armed militants that they had in the country. So stay with us. That is going to be unfolding as we go along. We also just heard Mr. Fadiga just told us about information from the SOUP students on campus were suspended, and that's unconfirmed. Our sources said that they're being suspended. So we'll also confirm it. Jim Goodday is working on it right now. He's on it like this, and he will let you know. We will be telling you a lot of other things today. My concern, Goodday, did you have anything else to add before I go on to what's on my mind today? I want you to actually play that tape today with Representative Haja. I think I sent you a text. Do you have that?
Yeah, Haja tape is coming up. I have the quote-unquote major opposition parties clip ready.
I'm not ready for that right now, but it's Haja.
Fatah will come.
Okay, so you don't have it right now?
Yeah, it's not there right now. So what I just wanted to add up has to do with the gun in question we're talking about. Like I said, reliable source, very close to The individual that got arrested confirmed that Shiggy, even that Fagon best friend down there, Fagon knows Shiggy. He knows him well. He muted. You are muted. Oh, okay. He's on the phone. Shiggy is.
No, how you might know I'm on the phone? Who confirmed? Wait. Who confirmed to you that that individual were arrested? What are they arresting?
ALC says the no arrested or going, he will not touch on. But that's not the case.
No, because that tape you want ask me, just ask me. I don't want to tell you that way last year, somewhere around May, Shiggy and Eugene Angbe then were drinking. The man who voiced you here in that tape that the Thomas Gao man who they disarming the police station. They were so get a guns there to Sam Sion then Jefferson Koji intercepted it. And they were supposed to subject Shiggy to investigation. Shiggy can also
Shiggy, yes. You on camera recording, you tell me how you get a weapon. How you got this weapon?
What he said, Eugene, you got the weapon for me?
Hey, you see how thing happy? How you got this weapon? Illegal possession of firearms.
You see what your brother and yours.
And not one, but two. Are you a secret president?
Eugene.
How you got this weapon? How you got this weapon? How you got a weapon? How many times make it embarrassing? All right, listen to me. How you got a weapon?
Eugene, yes.
How you got this weapon, Chidi?
People are not telling my friend different thing.
How you got this weapon? Where did you weapon? Don't touch it. Wait, how you got this weapon? What?
What? Not telling you the man.
How you got a weapon? How you got a weapon?
Yeah, mama.
How you got a weapon first? Mama, I said stop. He said money in the dollar, money. How you got a weapon? How you got a weapon?
But the guy talking in the back is not Thomas Gao.
No, wait. You don't know the whole story. Lead the story.
But I reported on Gao. I know how you call it. Thomas Gao knows about. Go ahead.
Yes.
And people said that last night tip.
Go ahead.
Last night tip.
Okay, so
until
we get some confirmation on the tape and until we get more confirmation. So I would like to just move forward right now with that story.
Yeah,
but we are aware that arms should not be carried in the country. We just established that on 2 shows ago. So that's something
more than 2 shows.
Yes, okay. Good day. Do you have what happened in the Senate, in the House of Representatives today with Mahaja ready? Okay, so good day is not ready yet. We just had International Women's Day yesterday. We had a beautiful show. And I'm sorry. Falcon, can you carry on? Because I'm getting a call coming through.
That means you don't go to Chicago. But anyway,
we should subtract the amount of time she stays off. We'll subtract and add it.
I think today that picking will count as 6:50. But anyway, she was trying to bring to the attention of the panel and the Liberian people that all of what you folks, you honorable ladies, have been saying on this program, Salimatu, Dr. Richardson, everybody else have been saying, it's just so true. This lady is in the parliament. She raises an issue that if the whole country knew about it today, they would know that Haja Fatah Sayon is absolutely correct. But because she's a lady, and more so she's wearing her hijab, why they can go do that thing to normally, if I normally pass, she can waste an t-shirt. Normally, quite a waste her tea, man. She always get in the cup. And then they couldn't do it to that other to the other lawmaker. So Akoko, she quite to tell you was standing to a window in the net. So everybody run away from her. It just when Dr. Francine comes in, it speaks to how women are treated in the country, how they are marginalized, disrespected. And the case she made is so legitimate that if the whole country hear it, they will be angry. But maybe when I come to speak, then I will say because it relates to bombing. I would say where she got the right to say what she said.
Okay, I want Good Day to just play the tape. I think that's what you're telling me. Give me a thumbs up that it's ready.
No, the guy from Soup, regarding the suspension, they confirmed that they heard the rumors, but the university has not released any document. But he's on the line just in case you want to ask him.
Yeah, if we were asking any question, did the university carry out any investigation, or have they embarked upon an investigation? On what basis we're hearing the rumors? It's still a rumor. We can't say the university has done so.
I'm coming. The question is, was there any investigation conducted by the university since the incident?
And the Manaspi no university now.
No, there's been no investigation launched. As a matter of fact, the university has not invited any of our colleagues for whatever investigation to give them due process. So, as it stands, the information that is being circulated is a rumor. It has not been confirmed by the University of Liberia. We've not seen any official release from them indicating or citing the suspension of any of our comrades or students from the university. But albeit tomorrow we should be giving a definite position statement on this matter. And we are going to speak. We'll speak with our hearts. We'll speak from our soul. And we are going to speak with courage and flint. And that statement will represent the interest of our party, the position of our party in defense of the academic credential of all the comrades who have been highlighted by the university for quote-unquote action to be taken against them. What are you?
The last question I have for him, we saw the vehicle leaving the campus. It was not smashed. We didn't see anybody bleeding. We saw him get into his car. But then we saw on social media him in the hospital, nurses drawing blood instead of patching a wound. And we saw his car smashed. Are you guys aware where this other action took place? Because we have not seen any video to that effect. Do you know where it took place? Or do you have any idea of what happened after he left the campus?
You got a question?
You have to read it, like I told you, how many lines coming in.
Yeah, the question is, when the incident took place on campus, they did not see people smashing Aloysius' vehicle. And he's asking whether you know about any action like that, if any action took place on campus where people smash his vehicle. That is the question.
The information of university students smashing somebody's car windshield is a makeup, it's a big fallacy. The entire situation of windshield being smashed is not a scene that was being witnessed on the university campus when the situation took place. In a election in desperation to maybe demonstrate points to the mass of the Liberian people in the past important and go on his own and smash his own car. But if you read the video, and follow keenly, you get to understand that there was no point in time where anybody chose to the windshield of the car of Mr. Elisha Howard. So for that, like I told you, this regime is a very desperate one, and they are doing everything. Perhaps there's a way they think that they can get to us as a student body that they're very critical of their XXX and means ruling this country. But like I told you, we're not going to back down on it. We are going to defend the academic credential of every student of that university in the medicines of our party, the actions of our comrades. It's a revolutionary one. And you cannot say to us that, for example, you see, like James, I don't want to say a lot on this platform today. We speak tomorrow, we do it in the evening hours, and we can have the time to have conversation and thoroughly elaborate on the positions we are going to make in our press statement tomorrow. So on the issue of the car situation, it's a make-up story. It's a framework done by Aloysius to buy something for the public and to make people and to just get a misrepresentation of the character of the students of the University of Liberia as being quote-unquote violent who are going to destroy his car, which is totally wrong. And we're not going to buy for that propaganda.
Okay. Thank you very much.
One question.
I'm sorry, who had a question? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone say they had a question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Actually, Colonel Gray, can we find time to have the students come in, because this is such an important developing story. I don't want us to miss, some of the crucial points here. So I'm sure the student will be willing to come in after to do the press conference. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Yes, James, just tell the student thank you so much for joining us and for giving us this brief synopsis on what is occurring. We'll definitely circle back to them to get more information. But I wanted to go back to Representative Hasha's story today, and I'm so unfortunately James does not have that tape available. I think I put the video in the chat room. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to see it, but I was just kind of very surprised and just startled at the reaction, the grandstanding of Representative Gray in response to Representative Haja's conversation about money that is due for a county development fund relating to Bumi, Cape Mount, and Bopolu. It just seemed like his grandstanding was just out of proportion in regards to the discussion that was at hand. And secondly, I felt like she wasn't being supported. And it struck me as deeply because she was a woman. And not only is a woman, she's a Muslim woman. Had it been another man, because speaking for, their county, I feel like there are going to be some quiet and respectful behavior in the House of Representatives. But everybody was just so loud, and they were just kind of telling her, oh, be quiet, and she kept on, speaking out loudly, something that is often done to women when we communicate. People tell us, oh, be quiet. They take our ideas, and make it theirs. You men take our ideas and make it yours. You interrupt us when we're speaking. And so I saw that happening today. So that's what's on my mind. Do you guys have any thoughts? Did you guys get an opportunity to see what I saw? Unfortunately, James didn't get to the tape, but if you see the tape, you definitely see what I'm talking about.
By the way, you know, I keep already. What would you want to? Yeah, that else. You win. We ain't your comment. You win.
Okay. All right.
No, but I want to make a comment to what she was actually saying when she got heckled. There were not many women there, but I'm going to try to find that part before this program ends, where the only guy that was fighting to support her, Gray went to a guy and physically shoved him. He fell. If that was Yeke today, they would have expelled him.
Yeah.
Or they would have put him out of the house. And I will try to find that part of the video. But what Haja was saying, you see, sometimes the people will say, the opponent say, now what I let it know. But the truth of the matter is, this was an agreement between 3 counties and the Western Cluster. The money should have gone to the 3 counties, the 5 million. So for Honorable Sir Joseph to come last minute of time, Monserrato was never a part of that contract. They had no part to play there. They were not factor in the agreement. While the 3 counties was about to share the money, he said the iron ore can pass through her county. So like Bong and Basso, they deserve part of the money. What Honorable Sir Joseph failed to realize is that Bong and Basso was factored in the agreement with Asilo Mito. He was not factored, Monserrato was not factored in the agreement with Bumi, Kema, and Bapolu. So legally, the money should have gone to the 3 counties. But the government, under the cover of darkness, nobody was watching when it gave Bumi County 2 million in Liberian dollars, which of course means of the 2 million, Bumi will lose 150,000 because of the exchange rate. We'll explain that later on. We don't want to go into that detail. Now, the other money, Monserrato is taking 500,000. And what Haja was trying to say, exactly what I explained. You're not part of the agreement. Nothing inside area you're in there. You're not supposed to be part. That's why the government went and gave us the money under the cover of darkness. Great contention was, it was not, what a big English for it, that somehow the government have not said that they gave them money. And that's why you saw her saying, Yama document, yeah, the money has been paid into our account. Yeah, it is. Meaning the government, crazy, we got time, we don't want to look at. He just disrespected this woman continuously because her document was proving beyond all reasonable doubt that the money had been divided by the government, it had been paid to the accounts, and the government, under the cover of darkness, for campaign purposes, had given Monserrato $500,000 when in fact Monserrato was not part of the agreement. So he thought by treating this woman disrespectfully, haggling her. Hello, if I were in our house, then I'm going to care great or something physically. That means we're going to pull him out. And the speaker consistently allowed this individual to do that to the extent where he physically attacked his colleague for defending the woman.
Yeah. And the
whole country is watching. Bong and Basso are part of the agreement with Asila Mito. How is it that Monserrato is nowhere in the agreement and George Real can get them $500,000 for what? And it's a sad thing. So I'll leave it with my other colleagues.
Yes, thank you. Good day. Please play the video, please.
Money, it was not in the budget. That money that wasn't supposed to be owing the Tini County to pay the money. Sayota said they have to get from the Monserrato. That's the only way. I don't know. You're supposed to ask them. You have to get from the money. Bring my phone. Bring my phone here.
Two different things. No, they say allocate or I will give it to us. No, honorable speaker, the clandestine way I have a discussion. No, seriously, but on integrity. Yes, the clandestine way I have a discussion. Yes. Allocator, I was
You gotta address the chair when you're discussing. Mr. Speaker, but you can't be telling me to address the chair when you're speaking. Honorable, you are supposed to channel the discussion. If anybody that drop you, tell them call the phone.
We gotta put freeze on our money.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker,
look at it.
I want to explain this. According to what on my phone, the senator instructed.
If you want to have you will recognize you.
That money is not in the budget. That money is money that wasn't part of our
free money.
You don't have to talk around and proceed.
Okay, there you have it. You saw how this.
You saw something in that video, or you didn't see it. If I don't play it until I die before this election, when he said, "But look at the kind of thing here." That part I will cut up. for Great to call that woman a thing. But look at that kind of thing here. If you say Allah, play the tape again.
Okay, Mr.
The woman was
Fagon.
speaking, said, but look at that kind of thing here.
Yeah. You know, this is typical of what we see many times with women in position of power. I was just amazed as how she was disrupted. She kept on wanting to speak. Nobody was giving her a chance to speak. People kept on. There was a lot of men in the room. They didn't seem to want to support her. And Representative Gray was just grandstanding, trying to distract and deflect the situation.
Because they didn't want to fall down to the front door and die to there.
Okay, I'm just going to go around and ask you guys for your thoughts about this. If you care to share it, 1 minute around, and then we got other important issues to go to, especially not that this is important. This is important, but we got another important issue to go to relating to the opposition party's press conference today. Salamatu, any thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, it's not surprising. I participated in a discussion today with the IFC regarding women's participation, specifically on boards. And I went through the same thing, when I was Secretary General of the Chamber of Commerce, raising my hand to speak, the only female, the youngest person in the room. And somebody said, "Yeah, let it get talk." And that was the first time I had ever been in a corporate setting for somebody to just, nonchalantly disrespect me. And the funny thing about it, he didn't even feel like he was disrespecting me. He felt like he was helping me out. So, it's the norm in Liberia. We've accepted it in the sense that, nothing, what party does she belong to? What her party people, what her party member? That would be my question. Who are her partisans? The people that align with her in the legislature.
She supports the CDC, but I don't know after today she still wants to support the people who could be her again.
Well, then I digress.
For me, it's
that John Palmer.
No. For me, it's a gender. It's a gender issue for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gender issue. We know this happens all the time, and this is why when we say women need to collectively have specific issues that they speak about, regardless of party affiliation, this is what we mean. But if you part of if we trying to get you to help us, and you part of the problem when it happened to you, who's supposed to run to you? So again, I digress.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're bringing awareness. I have seen your thoughts, and then I'm going to let you take us home, close us on this information, Fagon. I have seen your thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much to say on that. It's sad, but you see, I think one of the biggest problems with women that women are faced with comes from other women. I'm sad to say, a lot of time, even with rape and all these different things that we are going on, you'll be surprised that women will be in the trenches protecting some of those perpetrators. It makes it very difficult. So what happened with the More Than Me Foundation? We have a gender ministry right now that is almost lame duck. But what happened to Madame Fofana today is nothing strange. They say this is a man's work, but Liberia, it seems that the men have overtaken everything. The women barely get a shot. It's a cultural thing that I think. Have we made stride? I think we have made some, because a couple of years ago there were a lot of areas that women better venture. We see we got Willie Kanga, we got more women since the ascendancy of Madame Salif to the Oval Office. We've seen some change. It's slow, it's moving at a snail pace, but it is getting there. We just need to. I think we need more men on board. We shouldn't just, and I think some men just leave it with the women, but I think you guys need to invite us. Sometimes men like to be invited. I think make it mandatory, get a beat on us. Sometimes we watch it, we say, oh, the women can something. And I think it has to do with the war. Wartime, women held down the homes, women did most of the risky thing, venturing in those areas. The men were indoors hiding. Even so I think women shouldn't do this alone. For Salamantu and most of you women that are out there that are doing those things, try to incorporate more men in it, because this is the only way we can get this thing done and speed it up.
Okay, Mr. Hassan, thank you. I'll go to Mr. Gray. Your thoughts, 1 minute, and Mr. Watsi, 1 minute, and then we got to move on to our next story.
For me, it's the individual on the opposite end, which is Representative Gray. We've seen too many hula baloos coming out of that chamber, fronted by him. Whether it's Solomon George and him, cussing Marcus, theatrically demonstrating that, the one of them is the loudest, and you see consistently that he lacks this emotional intelligence. When you lack emotional intelligence, you just are not able to remain calm when it matters. And we see clearly what they're trying to do. They're trying to limit certain individuals in that particular chamber there. The speaker is who is leading that front against certain people, and it so happens that yesterday, given the day for women, and he supported, and efforts were made to get Representative Caliber out of the place. And this is the same individual now who is threatening to go to the University of Liberia when he's not invited there. He's not a student there. He's not an employee there. Under a trespass law, that he's a visitor there, so he cannot go there unless he's invited. But he's threatening to go there. And a lot of things happening that reminds me of what happened under the Charles Taylor regime, under the Samuel Doe regime, where people were not respected at all until all hell broke loose. And definitely, this is the guy who went and beat another guy on 9th Street, almost, slit his throat. The guy escaped for his life. And then also, there was another incident surrounding him going to a nightclub. I mean, for a representative, for your class, what you represent, I don't see it reflecting in this. We're not in I think it was Salamatu who said this guy is still in the opposition, garment, where they have not transitioned. And it's going to be hard because they don't know how to lead. They know how to riot. And riot will not develop a nation. And then they're talking about protecting the peace jealously. I don't know what peace. We have protected the peace, us in the opposition, but I'll leave you here, man. You're muted.
Mr. Watsi, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. I watched the video with abject dismay. And in the first place, for my partisan to address a female colleague lawmaker in such a manner, I think that was so unbecoming and a total misrepresentation of the essence of his role in Parliament. But I don't just feel disappointed by what he did, just from the way he reacted in Parliament, but particularly I'm disappointed in the speaker, because his gesticulation, his posture, his composure, and reaction to the lady concern that she raised was kind of what I call proportional to that of what Mr. Koduba usually does. And every time Mr. Koduba does that, the speaker creates checkpoints, and then he gets attacked sometimes by schools of lawmakers. And if you watch that video, all the lawmakers were there behaving as if they didn't know what was going on. So their decision to play co-shoulder to what the female lawmaker raised, I think, speaks volume to the level of deception in our Parliament. On the other point, the concern for the people of Monserrado County to get some of the money, I don't really think that's a bad idea. But considering the legal context of that transaction, the government, as the manager of the resources, could find a way to give a provision to Mansourado County, because it makes sense. There are biological issues, transport issues, all the technical complexities that are associated with the movement of the iron ore through from Bapolu or from bombing to Mansourado. So the people of Mansourado are supposed to benefit. But in that case, the government could review the contract or look at other provisions to at least give something to Mansourado County. But I like to condemn what I watched, what Honorable Gray did in the video that you just played, and to apologize to the female lawmaker. I think she didn't deserve that. We already don't have a lot of females in parliament. So for us to use our masculinity to suppress, quote unquote, the voice of the minority, I don't think that is a good sign for our growing democracy.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Well said.
It's important I make this clarity.
Well said, Mr. Falcon. I'm going to give you the last 1 minute to take us home on this subject.
Yeah, you see, Wozie, the thing here is, you and I and everyone on this panel know that the Western Cluster Agreement was never amended or rectified. So they went ahead and did a what? Memorandum of Understanding. So this agreement is still being worked on. Mansourado could be factored in. But the previous agreement, which had to do with them giving our 14 million away and giving us this small amount, I think if Honorable Sir Joseph wants a fair share, the agreement is still in the works. But this agreement that brought this amount, he was not part of it. So they should wait until the agreement, the Western Cluster Mineral Agreement, the MDA, is rectified and signed. During these negotiations, Mansourado can be incorporated. Until that happens, you can come and say, me, Conor Gray, and Al Hussein, we did something, we saw share our money, then you can say, what again, Papa Ho? What again, Papa Ho? Are you part of the agreement? Are you part of the agreement? So
that's very interesting.
Yeah, you can stand there. What again, Papa Ho? What again, Papa Ho? You are inside the team, you are not there.
30 seconds, Mr. Falcon.
I think they should wait when we go through the MDA to rectify it and make it a legal instrument. They infuse Mansourado somehow. If not, I think the caucus should take them to court and they should give the 500,000 back. Failure on their part to do so. In fact, why are we wasting my time? 2024, there will be new government. Coffee is saying the thing already.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I just want to close and we're going to move on to our next topic for the day, which is the opposition parties alliance got together to speak about concerning issues in the country. Who was there, who were not there, will be the topic of our discussion today. I want to close by in paraphrasing what Wozie said. Men should not use their masculinity to suppress the voices of women. Let's be allies and encourage women to speak and voice their opinion. That was totally disorganized and unnecessary. I think the speaker should have taken a stand, and I think Representative Gray should not engage in such a grandstand. He should have gotten equal punishment as Yeke would have gotten when he engaged in those kind of grandstanding. So moving along, you guys saw today that the opposition or some of the opposition parties, about 7 opposition parties got together and they spoke on some major issues in the country. They spoke about the census. They spoke about the murder of Councilor Gloria Scott's daughter, and there are other concerning issues they spoke about. And they came together. They called themselves for a purpose. First of all, let's start with the census. We've been talking about the census here a lot. And by the way, NEC was at the legislature today. They were talking about the different voter registration sites that they have published. That's just a side comment. So we'll begin with Sadamatu. Sadamatu, you saw the opposition parties come together to speak about the census. to speak about the murders and other issues in the country. Just give us your thoughts, first of all, on the census. You know, are they right for coming about speaking on the census now? Is there anything we can do at this point to correct the situation of the census? Is out there, elections is October 10th. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, when the issue of the census first started, people, were talking about it, maybe not going through the legal process at that point. But when all the noise was going, I think you guys had the young guy on here, Alex Williams, yeah, and I never understood the process before until he came on. He, well articulated. He articulated the situation, explained over and over. He came, and I'm just surprised no one at that time kind of jumped on that bandwagon. But it's not too late. I think they should maybe take it to the court. They should go through the legal system and challenge the government on this. The other thing, I want to say, of course, I'm a member of the opposition side, and it's just sad that when you're speaking on major issues that, the other opposition parties weren't invited. We keep forgetting that all of this has to do with politics. And we are going to go to a second round. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but there will be a second round, and people will be looking for friends all over the place. So this was one opportunity. I feel that all of the oppositions, they should have gotten together. If you came up with this idea, call other people to come in. Because, not to throw shade, but everybody making it seem like, it's 7 political parties. Really? How many members? Let's talk. Yeah. So it wasn't 7 major political parties. If anything, I think I saw 1 major political party, part of that, which was UP. But they did not call, the CPP, which consists of LP and ANC, which is
so the other people LP, where were they? We're gonna LP.
Well, I recognize 1 LP. So
no, they don't know LP. That we're gonna LP.
I know who. No, the man right, the man asking question. I recognize
because
breaking news.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, because that people might say that everyone was invited. Okay. People might say everyone was invited, like Unity Party or whoever organized this invitation of alliance of oppositions coming together, can say everyone was invited. But then again, who did they invite? Did they invite
everybody? It just, we are opposition. All of us on the other side, opposition.
Reliably informed with letter to back. CPP was invited, but they did not respond to the letter and they did not show up.
Yes.
But the breaking news you gave here today, you say LP.
Why not breaking news?
The breaking news that Fagon is talking about is they recognize Youngly as a political leader of the Liberty Party.
And LP signed a team. Then she said, other LP. Then I'm the LP.
Fagon said a letter was sent to the CPP.
I'm coming to you. Let me just.
Wait now. So why would, if LP was at the press conference, why would they send a letter to the CPP when the CPP consists of LP and ANC?
Very good question.
Yeah.
They wrote to the ANC.
No, they didn't write to the ANC because the ANC is not a standalone. The ANC is a collaboration between LP and ANC. So if I can't say, I wrote the ANC and they didn't respond, then who's represented at the press conference?
Very good point.
So we gotta see who they address to.
I'm coming to you. I want to go on to Al Hussein. Are they playing politics, Al Hussein? Is somebody trying to cause this unity in the alliance, in the opposition? Because as Adamatu said, why is it that you invite a parties, okay, of CPP, and then you have one faction representing Liberty Party, and you know that CPP consists of Liberty Party and ANC. What are your thoughts? Were they playing politics?
Well, it's always politics, and what happened when I saw that? Actually, one of the the program that I actually watched to the end today. And what I saw Simon Freeman representative there, and we know we have Mr. Freeman here, and he said he's talking. They made it seem as though there is some collaboration, and there was just a group of people that just went to express on the situation based on how I understood it. Even though there were voices in the background, and you know, one thing the Unity Party is very good at is controlling the optics. Jada came and said, we got our number. The number saying that there. In fact, the Liberian people want our guy, either our guy or nobody else. It's the same thing. They have master, you know, presenting and optics. So what they try to present today was, if to say they have had some agreement. There isn't any framework agreement that I know of that is going on between those political parties. What I do know is that there were a group of individuals that came together today to make a statement. But what was concerning more about today's statement was the hypocrisy with a group of people coming together. You remember the president left this country for almost 2 months. An individual from the opposition in the name of the CPP decided to stage a rally. To my utmost surprise, up to today, I still can't understand it. These same individuals from the Unity Party, the Darius Dillon, the Henry Costa, and those things, were vehemently opposed to that peaceful protest. They distanced themselves for it. You see, the thing here is, President, we are liking or hating. This guy has been lucky so much. I think he's having God complex, because this guy has pushed his time. He keep pushing the limit, and every time he keep getting away with it. Because what country with opposition trying to protest, trying to hold the government accountable, and one group of the opposition say, you know what, we're not part of it. So now they went out there to say the same thing that those other guys were talking about. Everything that they talk about today are almost similar to beside the Gloria Councilor Justice Scott's daughter. Almost everything that they mentioned today was part of the We Tire Suffering rally. These guys knew it. It didn't cause chaos today. Moravia didn't burn down. They did not threaten the peace. It's all about politics. It's all about the selfishness and greed of our people. And I'm telling you, if they continue this way, I'm sorry that George Weah could benefit. Yeah. And, so that one of the things I read it that threw me on when I saw it, like, these guys are talking the same thing that the other people. It's just that because it was them that called for this protest, so they didn't want to back it. And we see them doing the same thing.
Thank you, Mr. Al-Hussein. Mr. Fagon, do you think it is a good idea for the opposition to come together to speak about these issues? And also, please add, because you've been saying there's breaking news here, was it again a stroke of disunity within the opposition by saying on their sheet that the political leader for Liberty Party is here, when they know very well Liberty Party is now a part of CPP? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is just living with the facts. And here are the facts in this situation. Alpha Diga is saying one thing that is correct, but he's confusing me. That indeed these people came out to make a statement. Yes, they did. Did they not present a statement? It was a resolution. That's why they didn't come to tell you that they were signing a framework document. They did not tell you they were engaged in a framework document. They did not say we have a framework document. They came to make a statement, and a statement they made.
I said the optics. That's why they were trying to make it seem like.
But so long they came together, they had to be together. It's not like the CDC who say, oh, Ellis Tyler, but you can't see him. James Barney, but you can't see him. Joshua, he was not there. What they did was they presented themselves physically to indicate that we did this. That was the statement they were making. And when Simon Freeman was on here, he said we may not agree on some issues, but the issues we agree upon, we need to come together on them. You forgot that statement? So this is one issue that they agree upon. Then these issues that they agree upon, they came together to make a statement on it. Maybe the next statement that they will make to you will be the one that has to do with the framework document, which my understanding is that it's being worked on as we speak. You may have seen 7 political parties. If Euro was there today, it would have been 8. And I assure you by next weekend, it will be around 14. Because they are talking and I'm interviewing them, but they're not ready to come here and talk.
Well,
now,
until they come, they shouldn't. We should just take it as it is. For what it is.
I told you I said 7 political parties. I brought that new way last week. I put a team in the chat room. And then that of Francine.
You have been talking about an alliance. You have been talking about.
I told you the team. Me and Chiche Pole. That's why I left Salimatu business. You know, my thing is, I'm saying it again. They came out yesterday, made a statement. But you heard what Madam Salimatu said. She said, look, I recognize one Liberty Party. And we have said here that Hassan Belete took the paper. I left for my man was it to talk about it. Hassan carried the paper. Nobody carried the party. We've seen it now with the CDC. They carry the paper. James Barney carried the party. Tyler carried his party. Again, I will conclude by saying this. She asked me to incorporate, is it a good thing? When was the last time we saw them together like that? In fact, people who saw them together said that, I would not wish they put them doing now. Because the vitriol, the insults, the bickering, the putting down has been prevalent amongst them. So the mere fact that some people saw them today, some people started crying. They said, oh God, it looks like it's about to happen. To just see 7 political parties come together to make a statement on one thing is the first step in the right direction. And people in the CDC should become very afraid at this point. Because the only person that wasn't there today to make it was Benin Ayure. And you and I know if it rain or shine, he will be there. So you still got ALCO, you got the New Deal, you got other political parties. They are all in negotiations right now. Don't forget the LPDP and the NPP. The NPP have already written to withdraw the paper and throw it outside. So we still don't have a coalition. So we all have to see it for what it is. And Salimatu, last but not the least, which LP you talking about are the one you know? That Belete LP, that LP on paper. The party LP.
Minister Fagon, right? I'm about good governance. That's what, yeah. That I'm about good governance. If I sit down, me and you sign paper together, we go through it. You let the paper, you go through the system, you move the paper, right? I have no issue.
Taking our paper,
I have no issue with anybody in the party. Most of these people were in a Liberty Party way before I joined. All I know is that we had a slot for a political leader when Councillor Brumskin died. That Ms. Youngblee took over that spot. That period has expired. We don't have it. We've been going to court. Every time we go to court, we go to NEC, they recognize one LP. Whether the public want understand it, they won't understand it, no problem. Maybe we're not explaining it to them correctly. All right. I have no problem with anybody in the party. But nevertheless, we have a coalition. We have a coalition with ANC and LP. The Liberty Party and the ANC have a coalition. Anything outside of that, I don't know. It sounds good to the public to say, oh, you know, we got 20 party, we got 20 party. But I also look at members. I look at paying members of a political party. Maybe if we sat down, we start collecting people membership cards, then we'll know which party is actually powerful or not powerful. Because if I have a political party, all 6 of us on here right now, we all have political party, but me and you only got 5 members, and the other people got 20 members. Who powerful?
So, the other people,
huh?
Are the other people who get
no. No.
Okay, okay, I have to. Thank you.
Yes.
Senator.
A political party is an institution, and that's been one of our major problems in Liberia. It's an institution. In order for the institution to run, in order for the people to select and say, you know what, I want somebody from the institution, they got to be looking to see who's supporting the institution and if this institution is being governed properly. Not because I call my friend and I say, okay, if I were you, I will come here. I have no means of recruiting anybody by just sticking with 5 and I just going along with I'm a political
Thank you,
party.
Senator.
Yeah.
Let me finish that. Senator, to talk my time. AOCI women and behaving.
Oh,
Mr. Pagwa, I'm going to circle back to you, but please let me get to. We got to stop it rolling here. We'll talk about it.
I was just about to finish on one note.
Okay, finish on one note, please.
Yeah, you gave the women the power yesterday. Don't take it back for them.
I don't want to be accused of doing the same thing a man would do to you. So I'm giving you 1 minute.
The day not pass. My sister Salimatu is good to give us the theory. Let's get back to the practicals. Liberty Party, as we know, Liberty Party is not with the ANC. I can guarantee you that. And the analogy you made when you said that if the other poor get a 20 and you and myself only get 5, what's up with that? The truth of the matter is, when you talk about Liberty Party, the party of the Bazolians, of the Basso Belt, for that matter, Liberty Party is not with the CPP. On the paper, you could say the chairman is there.
No. Let me just say this. Let me say this because the problem with people is that we go and we sign paper and then we say, you know what, it's not practical. We went to a convention. The party decided that since we weren't sending a standard bearer, we did not need a political leader. We agree on it. Whether you walk away from there and you decide that's not something you agree with. Number 2, we need to understand. And sometimes we need to go back and look at the numbers. And
but if you go back,
nobody.
I'm sorry, I have to move on. Mr. Pacon. Mr. Pacon, you are entitled to your opinion. Salimata is entitled to her opinion. This is the beauty of Spoon Talk. I have to move on. You know, and I have to say that, Sadamatu, you make a good point about good governance, honestly. And I want to, Colonel Gray, I want to bring this question to you. NEC recognizes CPP, that is a coalition, because coalition or collaboration consists of 2 parties. So NEC recognizes ANC and LP together as CPP. Okay. Exactly. Now today we see this alliance that is recognizing other parties that we don't know whether NEC recognize those parties or not. Okay. So can you tell us your opinion about are they breaking the rules, or are they following good governance practices, or they come together for maybe a good reasons, but are they following good governance?
Adaka, the thing about us, when we have an opinion, we love to marry to that opinion. Matrimony is very good. That is when you take someone on the stage and marry them. But an opinion is just an opinion. And I see that, affecting the way or clouding our judgment sometimes. I think there's some residual effect from what happened, as Al said, from the retired suffering. But others will piggyback to the runoff election of 2017, where certain individuals did not pronounce their support for one or the other candidate. And so some say that bad seed or bad blood is still flowing. And come back to this retired suffering. Some will say, you did not support me, so therefore don't call me to form a collaboration. Well, around good governance, when political institutions, especially in the opposition, fight like this, it is the stranger who enjoys. George Weah is the beneficiary in all of this. And they will continue to fan some of these divisions because he benefits out of this. Good governance, of course, is something that is far-fetched from any of our political institutions. We are trying, but we are not even seeing good governance, within sight. And those group of parties coming together, even though they're opposition people, it's good. It's always good for the opposition to begin to collaborate. But it should not be done as a disrespect of not recognizing other people who also have, who are stakeholders. I think what is still going around with certain opposition element is that you are insignificant. We don't even count you. And they're fostering that particular opinion that one way or the other, the CPP, which is an entity. Firstly, somebody was saying we didn't see ANC there. You will not see ANC. ANC has ceased to exist because of the CPP. So let us understand the amalgamation that when we came together as a party, as an entity and formed the CPP, those who pull out, as long as that entity remains two or more, it is recognized by the Elections Commission as a collaboration. So until we begin to have fruitful discussion, not to disrespect this, big man bully. I've led for 12 years, so I know I have the numbers. All this thing is still interplaying. But in order for all of these parties in the opposition to come together, there must be some good conversation coming, cordial conversation coming among them, let alone good governance, but just respectful conversation. We're peers here, for God's sake. Respect me. It's like what happened in at the between Representative Gray and the other representative. People tend to take upon themselves as though we're not peers, we're not social peers. I'm the boss here, and it's gonna affect the way we go to election come October. And my fear is that we have to work on that real fast.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. By the way, tomorrow, if you join us, you will know that Musability and Fakisi Kone is going to be here.
Fasiki Kone.
Fasiki, I'm sorry, Fasiki. Thank you for telling me. Fasiki Kone is going to be here. He wrote an article about Musability, and that article speaks mostly about Musability being a person of a Mandingo background.
Insightful. I saw it.
Yes, it was very insightful. Was able to transcend some of the barriers, ethnic barriers, stereotypical barriers that we have in our country. And I think it's going to be a fascinating conversation. But I think we can ask him some of these questions about why were the CPP not at this alliance resolution presentation today. Mr. Wassey, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to just be...
Madam Moderator, I'm confused. I need you to please address a question to any one of the panelists so as to satisfy my confusion, so as to allow me to participate. And my question is to anyone on the panel here. The court recognized Musability as the chairman of LP. Madam Moderator, you saw CDC submitting their own coalition document to NEC. We saw the disintegration of CPP. Everybody broke away. I want any one of the panelists here to tell me as to whether there has been a coalition document submitted to NEC for which NEC now recognize ANC and LP as the CPP. I just want that clarification here.
Actually, go ahead, Allison, go ahead.
One group just pulled out. The same document is still there. One group just pulled out. So they didn't have to do anything. That's all. Yeah. ALP and UP left. The other group stayed.
Yeah. And I'm actually sure Mr. Billy is going to speak about this because I actually called him today, and asked him, where are you guys? And he said to me, just briefly, he's going to go into details about this. NEC recognized the CPP. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what the real thing the real problem coming. All the people that are running under LP for representative or senator, then will know. Then we will know. Yeah.
If that
yeah.
NEC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all the other, the other group, the other group not good. No problem.
Yes.
When you go run on an LP, that the part won't see.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen. Get a constitution.
Okay. Can I call Mr. Wassey?
Okay.
Mr. Wassey, please. Mr. Spirited Conversation, I'm enjoying it. Mr. Wasi, and I will just break it down to you. If you were, because I know that that's CDC team, so you will say you cannot fish to fry anyone, but if you were a member of the CPP, okay, and your party consists of ANC and Liberty Party, and then you get invited to a resolution presentation where they are recognizing another fragment of the LP. What would be your thoughts about going to that presentation?
Well, it's hard for me to express my opinion, since in fact I am not a member of the CPP, and I may not exactly know how to define what I would do. But from a general perspective, I would take the side I have the number. You see, it's complicated. The CPP debacle is kind of complicated. You have one party is undocumented, but then the same party, those with the control of the membership, not supporting the document. So in a nutshell, I mean, I say I won't directly want to answer you, but I will just try to provide some general information. In a nutshell, the Liberty Party is an important party in the body politic of Liberia. That is not a secret. And I think the continuous situation of disintegration of the party is only strengthening the ruling party's capacity to re-win the elections. Because the Bassa bloc of our voting population is huge. Yombly, Darius DeLong and the other Bassa folks, because they speak the same dialect, could command some good amount of people. But again, Mr. Benitez's capacity to fund the political process could also serve as a point of temptation, because Mayu is no disrespect to the Bassa people. They will follow the money to some extent. So it's a kind of complicated situation, and I would like to respectfully stop here since I'm not a member of the CPP.
You got a fish to fry, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you talk about the opposition meeting and Fadiga stressed the issue of the optics.
Yes.
The fact that 7 political parties were able to come together to speak to a particular national issue, I think they had a nice optic. They sent a message out there that they are mobilizing. Yeah, they are at the mobilization stage. But Liberian our politics is different. It's kind of funny. You look at, for example, our party, and I've said this on numerous occasions, I would really be happy as a partisan, as a citizen, for us to win the 2023 elections. But there are a few things that continue to send out red, negative signals. For example, we go into Nimba. We say we're looking for influential Nibayans. We appoint the SS baggages of Nimba to government. For example, the man who we appointed recently at Governance Commission, that's a political SS baggage of Nimba. He doesn't come with any number. He was fired by Prince Johnson just by a phone call. Prince Johnson just told him, "My man, you're not represented again." The next thing at the election, he was flogged beyond repair. Now we may allow Prince Johnson, then we'll go for the SS baggages and bring them and say we're depending on them. So it's kind of funny. Now you look at, I mean, how does Nibayans see Kwenkpa, the late Brigadier General, and no disrespect to him? Some Nibayans think that he was a sluggish general, who sluggishly handled his revolution that resulted to the death of thousands of Nibayans. That's how they see him. Do they trust his family? Or are they political figures that could give any political side that they join good numbers? The answer is no. Now to the opposition. You have all these for nothing palavers, things that you guys could just sit down and fix. And everybody, some people go one side with money and they don't have the numbers. The other people who buy money, they go on the other side with numbers. Now, what all these hulu battles would do would be to put the incumbent president ahead of the process. And that's one reason why. You see, President Weah has a constant base that is at least not less than 35%. Any ambivalent approach from the opposition could just throw him easily beyond 51%. And that's one reason why you see President Weah continue to say confidently that he will get re-elected. Because I don't know if the opposition community have got statisticians to critically analyze the numbers. You won Monserrado 2 times, which is a good sign that you are technically speaking in command of Monserrado County. You've captured that, or maybe you've divided that and you're controlling 60% because your senatorial candidate won 2 times. And that is a threat to us in the CDC, which is not a secret. But when your various parties start to fight on trivial issues, things that they could easily handle, what it does for us is that it tells us that, yeah, let's watch them fight to death, and we just walk in easily. But the only problem that we have, that I continue to flag, even to my people, we should learn to synchronize interest.
Okay, Mr.
If we owe LPDP, let's talk to them. If we owe MPP, let's talk to them. You appoint somebody for MPP. The man has been lobbying for the job since 2018. You just gave him a job recently. Does the man have the capacity to give you vote in Bon County? The answer is a big no.
Thank you.
You look at the people in 1 minute, please.
Yes.
You look at the people in the LPDP. You promise scores of them jobs, but call those people who you promise jobs. Tell them to come to the executive mansion with at least 300 supporters. Whether they will bring more than even 20. The answer is a big no. So, so it's either we deceive ourselves.
But get a reason why is no.
Because they are SS baggages. They don't have numbers. No, they didn't. No, at all. Now, so for me, as a student of numbers, I tend not to compromise my combination probability prospects. So when you want to project, you got to be fair to yourself. Either you want to be what you call optimistically biased, according to statistics, or you want to have a strong foundation so that your numerical outlook can speak volume to be a purposive on the basis of purposive sampling. So, I mean, I just wanted to provide a general overview of our political environment because it's confusing, but the biggest threat is that political parties are making weaker decisions every time. And they tend not to be willing to synchronize interests on simple basis.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ozzy. Thank you very much. It's always good to have a statistical, mathematical background person here who can speak to us from that overshadowing.
I mean, 4 divided by 2, how much?
So you know something.
I know why you're going.
There were 4 parties in a CPP.
Something is agonizing me right now as I'm listening to you guys speak, and I'm agonized by the fact that I'm hearing us say, "Forget about the rule of law. We just want the numbers. Forget about good governance. Forget about the fact that NEC, which is our recognizing body in the country that gave permission to parties to exist, forget about what they say. Forget about them saying that this party is what we'll recognize. This party has the numbers, so let's go with it." And for some reason, I'm agonized about that. But
don't be.
And yes, and I'll let you come in. And I want to say, I want to use the analogy between Trump and I know very rarely you find me using the American analogy here because that's not the situation. It's like comparing apple and oranges, but I think this is comparable and that drives from the point. Hillary won the populist vote and Donald Trump won the electoral college, okay? America, could I say, let's go with the numbers. Let's forget about our rule of law that says when you win the electoral college, you win. They didn't. They went by the rule of law. So this is what I think I'm just marinating and getting me agonized. But I'll go to you, Hussein, before we move on to our final topic. which was the enumerators, are also complaining that they didn't get paid. We saw the letter. But go ahead, tell us, and then we'll go
What
another
I
round.
was saying is, Tumbi, things have a way of falling in place. Those people that think that they can just disregard the law and passing around, like Salimatu said, some people are running on the LP ticket. The election commission has spoken. Those that have been recognized will always be recognized. Those that have complete disregard for the law, they will be left out. Look, you see one thing, you see Nyawudi, I know Boyka would not take her. It was a political gamble, and I can bet on this. At the end of the day, those guys will be left out in the cold and struggling. And the only place that it will come is coming back is to come back home. And the most ability that I know will welcome them. He will take them back. So at the end of the day, I know that they're coming back home. I know Eugene Fango, he owned it. He seems to have some interest in this whole 7-man movement.
Don't use interest, say knowledge. Knowledge.
Well, until we see that framework document, I will take it as a grain of salt.
You'll be my witness.
I
won't take that alliance seriously.
And then we'll go to Salimatu, and then we'll go to Falcon, and then we'll go to Gray.
I will leave it at that. I won't take that thing for anything serious for now.
Okay, Salimatu, please come in.
Yeah, and
they may want to bring confusion between me and Salimatu.
No, not a confusion. Every now and then we're supposed to disagree.
Yeah, relationship that kind of something.
Yeah, we have a disagree little bit. Yeah.
He want to take my friendship, so he crazy all kind of things. Salimatu, so he can make me look like I against Salimatu.
No, never.
The making up time can be good, so just
we can disagree. No, but there's one thing. When the CPP was formed, the whole idea was not just about unseating President Weah. That was not the initial concept. The concept was about good governance and rule of law. There was a lot of things that, like we complaining about it. So that's why it was actually started. So, when I tell people, I support Mr. Cummings because he respects the rule of law. We don't want to replace the face of George Weah. That's not the goal. It may be the goal for a lot of people, but that's not going to take Liberia anywhere. We have major problems with the way we govern. Our governing, our leadership, that's where the problem is. You can't take somebody that you can't, and not calling anybody in the government rogue at this time, but you can't remove a rogue and put another rogue there because the rogue dressed nicely. Yeah, you can't do that. So if we say we have a problem with governance, then let's work on strengthening the way we govern. And you only will see that in the way people manage their company, the way they manage their the institutions that they're running. So yeah, we have a document. Two parties decided they did not want to be a part of it. We don't understand. We don't like the way they went about removing themselves from it because they threw a man who had a good reputation in the mix, took him to court without any evidence, drag him. I mean, he fought. And I used to tell my friends when they said, "Oh, why are they doing this, Mr. Cummings?" I said, I support Mr. Cummings, but you know what? Why not Mr. Cummings? All was suffering anything here, but he will come out stronger. They did all of that, but in the end, they're gone. No problem. You got the two major political parties that remain in the CPP, and when it's time to run for office, we will see who is the real LP. Because that was one of the issues in the document, that if you're under the CPP, you can no longer run as individual parties. You have the CPP has to agree to send you. And again, people have a problem with that. We can agree to disagree. And you don't like it, when you sign it, you don't like it, come back and say, you know what? I'll let the document no more, I won't leave. And you'll sit and you'll talk about it. And then you leave. You don't have to go through all the fingering, the doing this. Come on. But anyway, we are here. Come October, you will see friendship, then we'll start to mend. We go up, we come down. That's a small community. We friendship, then we'll come back.
Thank you for saying that, Salimatu. And so from what I'm hearing you saying, and Mr. Falcon, you can, marinate and add your comments to this as well. You were saying that the CPP had the original ideas of fighting together, not only to unseat George Weah, but fighting for the things that we are hearing now. Liberians continue to suffer. We're fighting for the census issue. We're fighting for enumerators to get paid on time. Those are the things that they mentioned. And now we see another person that come. I don't know who organized this alliance today, and they're doing the same thing that the CPP was planning on doing. So, Mr. Falcon, you seem to know more about the alliance. You've been talking about it here. What are your thoughts on what's going on? We're just going to do one more round because I go to the phone line. Liberian people got to tell what they think about what happened today with the whole alliance business.
That's what begins sleepy. I don't want to know because
you're not hearing it because we're not leaving your 6 o'clock there.
We're leaving your 6 o'clock sharp.
Yes.
Okay. Let me say this.
I'm sorry, Mr. Falcon, before I interrupt you, Mr. Falcon and I talked today. So he called me Dr. 5, what you say, 549?
559. I said if you wanted Liberian to lead our name, just say your name, Dr. 559.
So he said because they know how to, they will struggle with 6 o'clock too easy. You get a 559, they will not say it too well. So go, you see how you buy. Go ahead, Mr. Falcon.
But the way we talk, we let the cutting short. Instead of saying, Dr. Francine, come and join me to eat. We say, let you.
Yeah, okay. Let you.
3 words, let you, it finish. Mm-hmm. So if you tell a brand to say, Dr. 559, they will start calling you. But at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 559. Yeah, please. That's it.
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I deal with facts versus fiction. The fiction here, there is something called CPP, collaborating political parties. That ceased to exist. There is no such thing as CPP. And here is why. That's the reason why they've been going to court. They don't been going to NEC, hauling document, proving constitutionality, bringing paper here, carrying paper there. They don't exist. Next thing into the Supreme Court. Supreme Court did not recognize CPP, hear me good. They recognized Bilete as the chairman of Liberty Party. Bilete became recognized as the chairman. They didn't go there for CPP to be recognized. And the NEC told them, in keeping with Article 77, yeah. And my sister Salimatu was saying, they will see what they were wrong on. Salimatu, me, my reliance is Article 77 of the Constitution. Hear me and hear me out as I read it to you. Article 77A. Since the essence of democracy is free competition of ideas expressed by political parties and political groups as well as by individual parties may freely be established to advocate the political opinions of the people. Laws, regulations, decrees, or measures which might have the effect of creating a one-party state shall be declared unconstitutional. B, and I'm closing on this, all elections shall be by secret ballot as may be determined by the election commissions. And every Liberian citizen, hear that one, every Liberian citizen, not less than 18 years of age, shall have the right to be registered as a voter and to vote in public elections and referenda under the Constitution. The legislature shall enact laws indicating the category of Liberians who shall not form or become members of political parties. So to suggest, the reason why they went to court, maybe you are not there, I was there. So I will tell you that they went to court and they say, oh, the man wanted to finger the document, the court said, listen, anybody want to go, you can go. Article 77 say, you're free to do your thing. Don't say because you want to withdraw, you got to carry somebody to court. You don't need to, you just need to walk because Article 77 says that. Now, I want to say to you, the reason why I say the CPP ceased to exist is because the matter that went before the Supreme Court was to legitimize Bilete as the chairman of his party, not legitimize a CPP. And as far as we're concerned, the CPP does not exist. That's why you see today we're talking about the coalition document. It went in with 3 political parties and you can
I
see
mean,
what
you're
Barney wrote.
confusing
Oh,
oil.
yeah. But you know what? No,
Yeah,
let him finish. Yeah, let him
Wait
we
now.
go to article because you throwing oil around. The CPP exists. Let's get that fact clear. The
No, wait now.
CPP exists.
Y'all were
Hey,
talking.
I beg you, let a man finish. Let him finish.
I repeat. Dr. Francis, should I read it on the blackboard?
Really?
The CPP.
One more time.
The CPP of four collaborating political parties. That was the CPP. It had 4 parties. 2 withdrew, meaning they had to refile that document. Because why? If you say CPP exists today, where is Unity Party? If you say CPP exists today, where is ALP? They must now withdraw that document that carry 4 political parties and resubmit a document that will show 2 political parties. And they have not done that.
Yes,
they
have.
not
First of all, let me say this. Yeah, you see the more mute. And she talk.
I don't understand who's muting me. You know, it's very.
Let me say this.
Don't put me in trouble because the day you want to be my friend, Dr. Francine will be my friend. Yeah.
No. Let me say this. I understand when I'm a member of the executive committee of LP.
Hey, breaking news.
Okay, no, it's not breaking news.
Hey, breaking news.
It's not breaking news.
Please allow
It's not breaking news.
Breaking news.
Okay.
They're not breaking news. But let me just say this. The 2 parties that left, they requested to leave. Let me break it down. They requested to leave the party, the CPP collaboration, right?
From who? Who did they request to leave from?
That way it went to the Supreme Court when they decided they wanted to leave. So the Supreme Court said, okay, the 2 parties can leave. CPP then amended their document, took it back, and refiled it. All of this happened last year. So the CPP is still active with 2 parties. Oh, yeah.
But you didn't see that presentation made by Ability as chair?
Yeah.
Where they even misspelled something on the envelope?
Mr. Gray? Mr. Gray?
Yeah, Mr. Fagon. Yeah, it is. It exists. It's legal.
Yes,
the NEC recognizes it.
Okay, so we have to say it. Sis, I have seen says
yeah.
Mr. Gray, Mr. Fagon is thinking that the CPP does not exist. We have 2 people.
And they have had a lot of.
Let me give an opinion on this.
We saw the last time.
Let me give an opinion on this.
Mr. Gray to give his opinion, and then Liberian people gotta have at least 5 calls to tell us what are their thoughts.
Fundamentally, what Fangon read there is the principle that says freedom of association and disassociation.
Thank you.
It's supported under our laws. You can join, you can unjoin or disjoin.
Yeah.
The law represent that.
Yeah.
What Fangon is not represent, it's not elaborating on. It's the principle. I mean the principle of partnership. When you're in a partnership comprising of 2 or more, any of those partners, you understand, is at liberty to leave the partnership.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the partnership will amend, excluding those that are out. It's just simple. Go back and read the laws on partnership. Those 2 decided leaving. They left. And one of the reasons they left is because the other guy can follow law too much. and exactly why they have gone now to form, because we're talking about good governance, people who don't even have it in their DNA, their blood, to govern, you understand, the right way, have gone their separate way. And sometimes when they say they got too strict, they got come everything, our to do, it will just shut up all our stuff. This is exactly what is going on. Not to say they don't like Cummings per se. They just don't like his love for supporting the quote unquote good governance. And you know what? If we are going to go straight in this country called Liberia, you must have some principle that when you put your pen or your signature to something, respect the rule that exists there. Period. What the likes of Fangon would not like to hear is that there is something called CPP. It boils their blood because, as far as they know, it should have It should have died a natural death when whoever pulled out of it. But you know what? They're sustaining the idea of a CPP. The Elections Commission recognizes when they resubmitted the amended CPP, what it means. And if you think that they should go to the Supreme Court and go argue about an issue that are now brought in front of the Supreme Court, who does that? In law, that which was not, they sue for Chairman Billiter being the chairman of Liberty Party. They didn't go there to go prove whether CPP exists. That was not the issue there.
But why should they?
And then let me add this.
The UPP.
Yes, let me add this. The reason why it's so important for people to understand, y'all keep saying that too. The chairman, the Supreme Court says that Musa Billiter is the chairman of LP. So that means we can decide to be in CPP. He can accredit people to run under CPP on behalf of LP. He can do all of that. That's why it was so important for when it went to court. So when you keep asking me, there's two Liberty Party. No, one Liberty Party was recognized with one chairman. Mr. Vagon, do you understand that?
No, I don't, because
wait. Do you understand that LP is not supposed to have a political leader?
There is an executive committee in every political party. You saw that recently when they had to vote. The executive committee had to vote on a resolution.
I thought the man, our executive member, he just it.
Yeah, but listen.
And you know what's
funny? They're expelled from the party.
Yeah,
they're not Liberty Party.
Those are fugitives. They're fugitive, political fugitives. They're being expelled. Why are you?
I call my Liberty Party members fugitives.
The Liberty Party, you join.
No, they're
fugitives. The LP. Who recognizes serve as chairman.
The fugitives are running their own garment.
So in other words, so I'm hearing Salimatu say
there's no political leader.
There's no political leader.
There's no political leader.
Today, I heard the alliance recognize her as a political leader.
Why wouldn't the alliance do it? They will say
they're desperate. They're desperate.
Anything I want to say, they can say it. That's not our concern.
Okay.
I want guys,
I want to give
the convention. Yes, the convention.
I want to give
Mr. political leader.
He's been the only
the old constitution, new constitution.
That's not okay. Salimatu and Mr. Fagon, we have to
be there. That's not illegal. Let me say this. Somebody actually sent me a post of Yombly tagging me in the International Women's Day as the political leader, because LP is probably the only party that actually met the threshold of having more than 30% female representation. She posted it on her Instagram. I know she posted this like last year. So I'm not talking, it's not breaking news. It's been out there. But again, you know, when people run with propaganda, when people start talking plenty, that's not me. I'm not here for it. I'm not my own era.
Yeah, because
I just about
Mr. Fagon, everybody, let me announce to you guys that Mr. Musa Billiter and Fakisi Kone will be on here tomorrow. Maybe he will have an opportunity, because I don't want to focus the conversation only on CPP, to share some light on some of the questions that we have. But before we go to the phone, I really want to do that in like 5 minutes. I want to give Mr. Watts, because he's been so patiently and quietly listening to all of us talk. I want to give him like maybe 1 minute to just tell us your thoughts, even though I know you say you have no fish to fry in this business. And
That's it.
He got fishes at all.
The only lawman man I read on a lawman man all of the place.
No.
He runs a period off. There's a period. Okay.
I got some more fish to fry, because I used to be an FOB member. And I remember Yaka Kulubaden chasing us on one occasion during one of our meetings years back. The thing is, although I'm not a supporter of the Liberty Party, the thing is, it's not a secret, right? That Billiter has got some influence, which is not a secret. Billiter could influence a lot of county chairpersons with maybe money, or trying, or maybe with some justification that the other people are just talkers and they are not people who are reliable. But again, the other side could use tribal divide to mobilize lots of voters in the in Monserrato area, in the Margibi area, in the
Riverside,
and Grand Bassa areas. Now, those areas are predominantly controlled by the Bassa people. So, no side has won and no side is going to win. Liberty Party is going to be the victim at the end of the day as a political institution. So, and all the things that are happening, all the political parties are only working in the favor of the CDC. I mean, so I'm happy. That's why I don't have any strategy to recommend. I don't have anything to say because, as a matter of fact, I got nothing to lose. Just as President Trump said to the black people, what you get to lose if I win. So, so for us in the CDC, we are happy that you guys are making confusion continue until October and see. Please don't cry foul.
No confusion there.
Yes, let me use
confusion.
Please give me 3 calls from Liberians. Let me hear what Liberians have to say about this alliance.
Just 3 calls for the whole Liberia.
Don't make it 5.
Okay, yes, Diamond, thank you for coming. Please do 5 calls. I beg you. I want to hit my 6 o'clock mark here today. Diamond, you there?
Yeah, please feel sorry for her. I don't need any comment on the feet.
Hello?
Dr. 559. Go ahead, Diamond.
Hello? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Gee, I'm a visual impaired person. I go to hospital to Maison Facon a long time.
Thank you.
Hello?
Okay, Mr. Fagon say he has heard you speaking to him, sir. Hello? Kindly reduce the volume of your radio, please. Hello? Go ahead, Mr. Mo.
You know, it's a good thing, it's a good sign. They could come together of the alliance. That's what we get craving for. We need to call all our parties to join them. We all serve in the country. There's no pretend about it. It's not easy. It's a rough. But there will be a way out. And that way out is not show your face to the alliance. At least we are getting hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel of going through. So
Okay,
thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your input. Hello?
Good evening.
Evening to you, sir. Go ahead.
So thank you very much. This is Bobby Abu Menska. Our phone from this says FD Kubo. Let me appreciate the panelists even for the topic on the discussion. You know, I love the questions that the registry asks. If the new collaborations that sound on the document is if it is a good food. But let me say to you, that collaboration, it has tools. And that collaboration can bring change. And that collaboration will be the CDC-led government because you get the less of the NGR, people that bring you see. The Nibanis alone that are in that NGR, that are part of that India, it shows to you that if one bro will go for election today, before I talk about other political parties who are part and parcel of that collaboration. So
okay, sir.
That collaboration is welcoming. We appreciate those that establish that collaboration. We pray that they will get more funds to see how best that this government can be one thing government that nobody will even hear the need to us when we are here.
Okay, sir.
It's politically from a political arena.
Thank
you very much.
Hello? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. You live. Okay, we replace you with another caller here. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Hilton, the background from Congo Down Baru.
All right, you're welcome.
I heard someone talking about say the Brazilian will set as food to how they call it to that man.
No, sir. We can't allow such comment. Nah, we can't allow that.
Sorry.
We wouldn't allow you to denigrate somebody on tribal lines. No.
Thank you.
Hello?
What do you see the team do?
Hello? Hello? Good evening to you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Joe Moba calling from Yukutan.
You're welcome, Mr. Moba. Kindly go ahead. 1 minute.
Thank you very much. You know what happened? CPP went to political party. I don't see none of the chairman of the political party was chairman for CPP. Peter Hassan Bello was the chairman for the Liberty Party, according to him. He became chairman of CPP. All the chairman of CPP used to be the political leader. Then he's taking himself to be chairman of CPP, which is not acceptable. Besides that one, this man is just fooling Mr. Kumi.
Oh, really?
The political party then are coming together to win him with big time. They are missing the up. He was funded to accept to go as vice Senate bearer to Joseph Walker. He got easy right to the presidency.
Okay,
and
sir.
he refused. So Labempo, we are looking at him that he dashed our hope. That's how it's looking like.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your input. Hello, this last person. Hello.
We'll do 5 more, Dama.
5 more. That's nice. Okay, 5 more.
The Liberians were powerful.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Abbott Kemoga, and I'm situated geographically in Carwell, Samogata.
Go ahead, sir. Geographically, go ahead.
Still Francis, in Liberia politics, not Donald Trump in America being talking. We're talking about numbers. We're talking about numbers here. Thomas Father, everything he could do is pay all the use 80 NPM machine here, and he couldn't win election. No. The first thing you should know, Musa Belete is planted by President Weah. They may fully come in. You don't know, you will get to realize it right after the election. They may always say President Weah that his friend. They may have a complete mafia within the CPP are going to mislead Cummings.
Not going to trust the police there either, okay?
Mr. Waka, if Waka, if you couldn't win, all the people could win beyond Cummings. But what Cummings is doing, Cummings is fighting a losing battle, he's fighting a losing war. Because Musa Belete that way, they fight the message when you be represented, you want to be speaker. You're not even talking about Cummings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you as well. All right. So before I put the next caller on the line, we have to be respectful of people and respectful to people as well. We wouldn't allow name callings, so you can put your point through and be civil about it. Hello? Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Zaman B. Mosin. I'm the chairman of the James in China Division. Again, a re-election of president. We are trying to come to the
What's your group's name again?
Yes, in China Division, again, a re-election of president. We are in national chairman.
Okay, go ahead.
You see vision? Yeah, but in trouble.
Mr. Wozi is asking you a question. He's asking if you are a sedition. He wants to know your party ID card number as well.
Yes, the man is a disenchanted sedition. So why asking that question?
I'm a former bear board to speak on Chimos.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
The bear board now sedition.
He's on a sedition. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, we did disenchanted sedition. We got put a proposal. We're talking to all the opposition political leaders, asking them for opposition unity. Since the CPP was funded, there was another CPP got this rate, and we still need a collaboration to defeat it. We are the administration, they are fear us. We do job. We are so much. We need to even put our left on the driving board for them. Tomorrow we will be bound by our parents, but the administration are let us down. So we decided to grab that position statement, asking for opposition unity. But we also here. So with the disenchanted division, and we check, and we are seeing that they play the way to beat. I play the disenchanted division because we need president. We have to be voted out.
Can I ask you a question quickly? Didn't your group endorse Senator Kuhn recently?
I have not met with Senator Kuhn since the group was funded. We are not met with Senator Kuhn. We met with CPP. We spoke in the dance of the dance of being rallied. And we're also in the party, but we are asking for opposition collaboration. But we're not seeing it necessary.
Okay.
They play the way we beat, I play we will go because we want better Liberia. They government are seeing the Liberian people.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm waiting for you to please come, bro.
Are there already? Why you asking me? You better look for my
2 more calls.
Okay, 2 more calls. Hello? Hello? Okay. Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Mama and I'm joining you this evening from a resident in Cleveland to so I want to say this to the alliance. There is no amount that will unseat President George Manneh. We as Liberians, intelligent and Liberians have made up our mind. The opposition has nothing to offer this country for 12 years. The United Party led this country, and there was nothing to show, no development. Just for all of the foreign investment that came to this country, no one's life was changed. But for George, we are bettering the life of Liberians daily. So we, the man, we will vote President George. We will organize ourselves in our margin. We're going to vote. We're going to re-elect President George Manneh. We are for the transformation of our country. So there is nothing, no chicanery, no amount of organization from the U.S. or every area can change our mind. We are reserved. President, we have a 2023. For a 40 time.
Thank you, sir. Hello. 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 Yes, sir. Kindly go ahead.
Okay, my name is Isaac B. I'm calling from Margibi County.
You're welcome, Isaac.
Okay, well, we follow the show and thank you for the show tonight. I listened to one of the panelists. I was saying that the Bassa people are going to go for money. Now, if you follow the political history of the Bassa people in this country, you'll find out that the majority, I'm not talking about maybe like the elements and other people he's talking about, but the Bassa people, and you have to be specific because you were specific, to say somebody will go for money and so go that way. It's not going to happen in the case of the Bassa people. We know what the real Liberty Party is. If you have planted a man like Musa Ability, I would say Ellis Commish, because I know the ANC originated from the CDC. We know this. We all know this. And that is why the Liberians are so smart enough when they talk about free white document and other things, they know their reasons why. We know where we are going. This, what you're talking about that is coming up right now concerning the political party, it's going to come up and you're going to see the big difference. This whole thing is about number. Understand this. Liberian people are not going to do a money could win election. You saw all the other elections way back about Pani Shama, the Tamo Father, and other things. It's not going to happen anymore. We're not talking about money so much. We want a good Liberia. And who can produce this good Liberia will be that collaboration that will be headed by Omen Boakai. Even if Boakai is so sick to the extent we will carry him and put him in that chair at the end of the day. I thank you.
Thank you as well. Dr. Richardson, is over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I really can enjoy the energy you bring to taking the calls and giving us trending news. So thank you so much. I'm going to go into our closing remarks right now. We'll go to Hussein, go to Fadimatu, and then Fagon. Gray was actually, I'll go, and Fagon's going to take us home as usual. Gray and Wazi. We can't hear you, Hussein. We can't hear you.
Mute. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the show today, but I listened to the calls and it's sad. I listened to this guy, clearly boycott supporter and making music. The thing is, what most people fail to realize is that 12 years ago, we had a party called Unity Party that led Liberia. Joseph Boyka happened to be the vice president of that party. It is still fresh on the mind of the Liberian people. No political institution.
It was 5 years ago, not 12.
No, I mean 12. Well, I mean 12 years, 6 years ago, but I mean they were there for 12 years.
Okay.
Thank you for correcting me. They were there for 6 years. 6 years ago, they left from power, but they were there for 12 years. And for those 12 years, the Liberian people gave them 2 terms. And no political institution have left from power. You look at the TUI party, they almost gone. You look at the NDPL, you look at the NPP, they have all gone. It will be history to see the Unity Party come back to power. The Liberian people may not like George Weah, but they do not like the Unity Party. The only thing that resuscitated the Unity Party was the collaborating political party. It disguised that name to arrogantly continue to pursue that name and think that they will win election. They are just disrupting the opposition. For people to, in the sad thing, I listen to this guy, even if he's old. Is this man telling me that in the whole Republic of Liberia, with 5 million people, educated, some of the best and brightest people in the world, that one old man have been in power for long, one new idea, you run the country where? Down to the grave? You see, someone said the other time, say, suffering can scare Liberia anymore. I don't believe that, but Sometimes our people do that. It's sad when we hear people saying this thing because our people have been beat down so much to the point that we don't care anymore. But it is an illusion to believe that a one-on-one matchup between Omen Boyka and George Weah is an automatic win for Boyka because the Liberian people tired with him. I'm telling you, he did not win 2017. He will not win again. I'll give you another point. The CPP, when they came together, we saw a streak of wins. And even during those wins, every candidate that the Unity Party feel they lost. We saw Josephine Francis. We saw even the local candidate. We can go around the list. They keep losing. This thing that in the head that believe that it's only them or nobody else is just a wrong thing that they are doing. The next thing to Wosi said something about the Bassa people, they will not go for money. Let me tell you something, what is at play in the Liberty Party. One thing you fail to realize is, like I said the other time, we do not have strong political institutions, we have individuals. Willie Kanga for a long time enjoyed the benefit of, or I don't know whether Abba Kanga was a dad, but Abba Kanga, if you follow I grew up I was born and raised in Buchanan. I went to high school, graduated from Liberian Christian College. So my neighbor string was born there. So I know.
That's how you pronounce her name.
So I know the territory. The Bassa people, Charlie Bronski is on board.
Yes.
They're not looking at Nyongwili. They're looking at Charlie Bronski and they're looking at a whole group of people. If you look at on the Oscar Moravia, Liberty Party is scattered all day going in Grand Bassa County. They vote based on party line. If Nyongwili is not with the program, in fact, Nyongwili was becoming very unpopular in Buchanan. If you really look at it, she won by the skin of her teeth. She barely lost that election. So she's not as popular, especially with her second term where she got this laissez-faire attitude. Just a few days ago, a group of young children were demonstrating again in Buchanan against her. So things have changed. Nyongwili's only option now is to come back. Okay. And I'm sure she will come back to the Liberty Party. But to believe that this thing is a slim down thing, and you know what, the CPP, let me tell you something. The last time we saw several permanent Liberians flooding towards the CPP. And more will come. Don't forget it. What we have not seen is people flooding on the other side since they left. We saw this little charade, the guy going on today, but Simeon Freeman told out on this program that he has not signed any agreement. So they shouldn't be posturing and making it seem like they got some agreement going on. There was another political party, who you put the letter, the UPP, that joined the collaboration. We forgot to say that.
Yes.
So the CPP is growing. Besides that, other people.
The acting chairman signed all the document.
The city happy with the CDC too. So you can't say that.
But I'm telling you,
okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Let's go to Sadamatu. Thank you for putting up this document. We see that the CPP is growing. We have more than just two parties there, as we see. Okay, please put it down. Thank you. Sadamatu, as we see.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, again, for clarification, Mr. Fagon, everybody who's listening and typing. The CPP exists and is recognized by the NEC, the National Elections Commission of Liberia. The two major parties that remain in the CPP was the LP, which was again recognized by the Supreme Court of Liberia, that Musa Bilete is the chairman, and we can decide who is a LP member or who not LP member. So nobody might ask me which LP. There's one LP. Right now, there are members out there. There are other members out there. That's another story for another day. But there's one LP right now, all right, under the CPP. So that LP and ANC under the CPP. We are CPP. We support Mr. Cummings for president. And I would say this, my friend Charlene Brumskin, she's running in Bassa. She's running under the CPP. I support her. She's a Liberty Party baby. We support her, and we support any body who's running under the CPP in Grand Bassa County. And Al Hassan, you said something. I was trying to look for the numbers, because NEC not take all the last data. Yeah, they not take it off their website. But the numbers in Grand Bassa County, the last senatorial election was extremely close. It was close. It didn't, and looking at those numbers, that was an indication that nobody owned Grand Bassa County. The Grand Bassa people, they're smart people. They've been in this presidential race for a while. We saw with Councillor Brumskin 3 times. They did not elect him. But this time around, we know we will be a deciding factor in the elections. So I think we chala pass again, but I suppose I think the pass again. But I do, I love my Grand Bassa people. Lots of family ties in it, and that we cannot sit here and predict what they would do. They will do the right thing. They know it's their time, and this is the time. The second thing I want to remind people is that we keep talking about numbers. I was in the situation room counting numbers for Joseph Boyka the last elections. I know plenty of people here talking. Many of y'all didn't even go out to go vote. Many of y'all didn't even go out to go support Joseph Boyka. Y'all were cussing Joseph Boyka, and I'm a Ellinger. They kicked my Oma out of the party. I was still there supporting him because I always believe, I'm a Ellinger, sit across. I believe he was the better candidate between the two that was running. Josh Weah, Joseph Boyka, I supported him. I campaigned for him. I went to places I had no business going. I stood on that truck there doing the campaign season for 12 hours, running up and down one day. That day that we really thought we had it. We thought all Monrovia came. So many of y'all are here talking, y'all didn't even show up the votes. Y'all didn't show up the campaign for the man. Instead, people are running around talking about poison and jolobo and all kind of things they were saying about Joseph Boyka. Yeah. The man running again. Huh? We supported him. I sat in the situation room. I saw the numbers coming in, and it was very disappointing. I mean, a lot of us were sitting in there. People were crying. We saw the numbers coming in. No one opposition has the numbers. Let everybody understand that. Nobody got the numbers. Not the CPP and not the other alliance, I guess that what we'll be calling it now, the alliance. The opposition, we don't have the numbers. We do have to come together. And this was the other reason why the CPP was created, for us to recognize that there were bad governance in Liberia. We're tired with the way things were going, and we wanted to change the way the institutions were being handled. So y'all sit down there, y'all can talk. We will go by the rules on the book. That the rules will go by. Y'all can call us anything y'all want. We'll go by the rules on the book. And I will say this, people, we always say people are afraid of change. People are afraid of change because, Mr. Cummings sees a new thing. He's coming, he's like disrupting our norm. People are not afraid of change. People are afraid of what they think they're going to lose. And there are a lot of people who saw Mr. Cummings, when he started changing things around, they felt like they were going to lose something. They felt like they were going to lose power. And that's why we had a lot of disruption within the CPP. But luckily, he was strong enough to hang in there and see it through. So y'all going again, we not start again. Nobody has the numbers. But I can guarantee you, as it gets closer to the election, you will see people will be making friends then everywhere. You'll see all the friends then coming. All the other people there, and by the way, all the other people that claiming the LP, if you're not part of the CPP, nobody's stopping you from running, but you cannot run under LP. You can run under independent. So nobody's stopping anybody from running.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Isn't it such a breath of fresh air to just listen to such intelligent, bright?
Thank you. Yeah.
Just tell her what it is. I'm when I'm whatever, I can't really say what I feel like saying, but you just resonate with some of my thoughts. I'm really glad to have you here.
Because he's support of the ANC.
We are in support of the
ANC. Mr. Watson.
No, I just
Mr. Watson. We have women yesterday.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I support you.
I expect you to be saying yes. Sadamata is a breath of fresh air, and
yes, I agree.
Now you can't tell me about ANC business. Thank you
I
very much.
agree.
Okay, let's go to Color Gray. Mr. Color Gray, please tell us your thoughts, and then we'll go to Mr. Wazi, and then Mr. Falcon's going to take us home.
You know, a lot of times we tend to forget the annals of history, where what happened yesterday would, the next day we seem to just erase that off our memory. Not so long ago, presiding chairman of the CPP, Alexander Cummings, was in the trenches for Yumbli Kanga, running here and there, against a guy named Finley Bezanga. And she won that election by a skin-teeth margin. Al Hussein said it. But it just tells you that there's something that needs to be sustained in the Liberty Party. Prior to his demise, so rest in peace, Councillor Bromskin could not even identify with Omer Boakai. Not because he didn't like Omer Boakai, but he just felt that Omer Boakai was an ungrateful person that does not reward people for supporting him. You understand? Or he doesn't keep up to the expectation. More or less, it's the mellow side of George Weah. You go into an agreement, certain expectations are created. He doesn't sustain those agreements. Now, he has a daughter who is in the race. That daughter is part and composite part of the CPP. If you are looking at Yumbli Kanga as the outlier of the CPP, of the Liberty Party, I think it's one way to look at it, but there are other ways to look at it. And then secondly, you're talking about a collaboration involving a Musa ability. There was a reason why Bromskin shifted the party focus from being a Bassa party. It was very important that if we want to win election, we cannot remain just a tribal party. Let's expand. I hear caller calling that Madingo man, calling people name and stuff. But let's not forget that the Madingo people also have a voice. And they have one of their sons in a major political party. That number is an invincible, greater number that people are ignoring. Then, in fact, it diversifies the Liberty Party.
Mr.
Mr. Cummings is a number guy. People talking about number. We've seen people running on. People hands are being lifted up. Daba Mabandi, Josephine, and then you go. The last guy that just suffered from that defeat was the guy in Kotimai, Galakbai. You just named them. You understand? This invincible number, imaginary number, has taken nobody anywhere. But there's a reason why this guy who used to lead a number game in a major Fortune 100 company decided to align with Billity. Billity got some invincible numbers. We're not looking at it. And I can tell you, these people who are looking at their own son in the game as well, they have a way of revenging too. That our voice matter. And so therefore, it's a good fight. It's a good fight.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Thank you so much. Mr. Warsi.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. I'd like to quickly throw a little light on, as a close, on Conor Gray's analysis. He talked about a certain ethnic group and how the chairman ability have got invincible numbers. But in this case, the numbers are not invincible.
I was about to say that too.
We'll take it from what we call factorial. The first thing, vast majority of the people related to his controls are either a member of Unity Party or APCO. So he's in there on his own, depending on economic strength. That's what Mr. Benedict is using, not the trap. And I can tell you that for sure. Back to majority of the Kingsmen.
So, Mr. Wozzy, just just throw something out here because Mr. Fagon's gonna take us home. I'm going to not speak. I'll relinquish my closing because of time. Just because someone's a member of a particular political party, does that dictate how they will vote for a person?
No, I'm telling you, hello. I'm speaking from the facts on the ground, not our American analysis.
It
now,
sounds more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, if you show the emblem of ACO to Mr. Benedict's paternal kinsmen, they will follow ACO or they will go to Unity Party. So Mr. Benedict's presence in the Labour Party as chairman is not a bad thing. Now, let me give a typical example. There is a district in Montserrat called District Number 2. You have a lot of his kingsmen there. They took a candidate and put a candidate on that ticket, on Labour Party ticket. Check the record, how many votes the person got in a district with a lot of his kingsmen in Montserrat. So 2 candidates always win in that district, either Unity Party or CDC candidate, not Liberty Party, will build the presence there, its influence. So you see, the whole Liberty Party situation is something that we shouldn't just look at. I see people theorizing, and it becomes difficult to analyze when you start to theorize. If you got to speak to real numbers. When the numbers is invincible, that means not practical, mathematically speaking or statistically speaking. So it becomes arbitrary. So you say if you want to express it, it's to the nth power, which is unknown. So you cannot use it as a factor. So that is incorrect, Mr. Gray. So that's why you see when you mention that you have invisible numbers, that means he doesn't even have a parameter to measure his to make a projection. So which means his projection is ambiguous, is unrealistic.
Okay, Mr. 10 seconds. Which is a great opportunity to
respond of the Liberty Party situation. So in closing, the person who is in a better position to win the 2023 elections up to now, because of the confusion, all the thing that is going on in the opposition, is President Weah. That is not a secret. And I will say it, I mean, you don't have to believe it, but as confusion continues to brawl in the opposition, you only push the incumbent president ahead more and more. So I will close on that note.
Who brought a CDC mail on our show today? Anyway, good to have you, Mr. Wozzy. It's good to have
you. You see, you want to give me compliments, though. You see that Women's Day.
No, you didn't wait for me to finish. I always say it's always good to have you in the show. You present a different perspective. I want to be in the company of people who have different views. I was just joking. I want sedition to come. Okay.
Although my CDC men to say I can't talk the sedition, so I don't know which are on what are in the middle or.
I know what you mean. I will not go.
Stay there because
when I talk about invincible number, let me throw chaos on it.
Let me give 30 seconds.
If you're marginalizing, what I was saying, if you're marginalizing Musa Hassan ability because of his tribal connection, you will definitely provoke a lot of people to sympathize with him. And that is the invisible number I speak about.
We already have an institution that we are with.
No. So the way it's moving, if Musa's only crime is because he's Mandingo, you're going to bring lots of people on his behalf. And we know where the CPP is investing the larger of its focus. There are 2 counties. Bassa is also included. When you hear Daniel Chia, you see Kiasel. You can call them names that you want to call them.
30 seconds, Mr. Gray.
But people are moving. So Musa Hassan ability, I think it will be seen as a hero. Sometimes people make hero out of people based on disadvantage. You look at a man who is spending all his money in a political institution, and you say because of his tribe, you're not going to support the party. That
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gray. Tomorrow, Mr. Musa Bilte and Fasiki Kone will be here tomorrow. We have an opportunity to have this lively discussion with them. So please join us again tomorrow. Mr. Fakon, please take us home.
Well, quickly, thank you all. It was a nice show. Let me start with what Al said. You know, when he talked about he can't phantom.
The coalition, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not with coalition. Wait for me. Why are you rushing me? Don't worry. After the 20th, you will see my fire. But the 20th, you know, he said this man was a part of the Unity Party, and for 12 years, they did nothing, and that somehow he could not understand the color. The color self does not understand you, because the woman who carried this man, and if you like, mentor him, nurture him, work with him for 12 years, decided to leave him and support President Weah. What was the motive? Why did you carry him for 12 years if you knew he wasn't that good? Why did you keep him? But here is what happened. The man she supported, she erased the debt and brought it down to as low as 800 million. The man came and increased the debt to about 2-point-something billion, but got nothing to show for it. Is she proud of him? She left a bag of rice at $13. We all know food is increasing. The man used, Fadiga, wake up. The man used 11 million. And they sent the rice scheme, they sold the rice to our people for $30 a bag. She left people making on the low side $250 US. The man she left in charge started paying people $45. She turned around, the homicide rate was down. It's now high. The rate was in the country. I mean, the rape situation was bad. It's now worse. The murder situation in the country was bad. It's now worse. Insecurity was in the country. People were out in the clubs. Today, people go home at 5 p.m. in the evening and lock iron doors. I don't need to continue before they give me 30 seconds. The budget when they were doing all these things was at about 500 million plus. Today, he increased the budget to 700 plus million, but he now pays people $45. Yet, nothing to show for it. He said he would cut his salary to $45,000, but he spent $96,000 in 48 days. I need not continue, but come to my brother that says Bility has imaginary numbers. You are absolutely correct on the money. His numbers are imaginary. You cannot see it. You will never even touch it. And let me say to my sister Salimatu, when she says, and I quote, the opposition does not have numbers. Well, unquote, the opposition does have the numbers. And it's shown from the fact that President Weah always come with a 25 or 30%.
Well,
if you go by percentage, they want to start
tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow.
I will finish. I don't care what they do. I will finish. Now, if you take away CDC 20 to 25%, which they can't get because the vast majority of the people are disenchanted, 70% goes to the opposition. That includes Salimatu, me, and you guys. That 70% is actual numbers, and the opposition does have it. Now, if you say you break those numbers down, and she says she was in the war room, then let her tell me who came second. It was Joseph Boakai. Who came third? Prince Johnson. Who came fourth? Bromsky. And who came fifth? The man who's talking about numbers now. So even if you go between, he still got two people, one in the grave, one alive to even beat before he can come close to JMB. That simply means that JMB not only has the numbers, have the numbers. I will finish on this note. I said it on this platform, you guys are my witness. The only way to the presidency for Mr. Cummins, is through JMB. And of all the callers that call here, only one man prays the CDC. That tells you with 1, 2, 3, 4 ANC members on the panel, James Goodday is not there. Me, and our ANC member. Was he that CDC man? Me, after the 20, I'll get my side. But if people will call on the platform and tell you in straight words that they are opposition, whether for CPPU,
2 seconds.
it doesn't matter.
2 seconds.
It simply means the country is heading in the right direction and the great alliance is coming with the likes of Fagon. And fire will come when we come.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to pick it tomorrow.
No, I gotta clarify. Number one, I did not say the opposition cannot win together. The point I made was no. You said Tamatu said the opposition does not have the
opposition does not have.
Come back tomorrow.
I never said that. I think sometimes we need to listen to our entire the sentences that come before and after, and not just grab one of them. Individually, stand alone, we ain't got the numbers. Yeah, no one opposition bloc has the numbers. Together, yes, we do have the numbers. This is why everybody is pushing for collaboration with the opposition. Number one. Number two, he mentioned my Oma. Yeah, let everybody understand. EJS was not responsible for JMB. Let understand. I don't care how emotional.
We didn't say. We said the man she supported.
Let me finish.
We'll come back.
We didn't say she was responsible.
You said the woman did not help the man. And I'm telling you the reason
is what I said.
1 second, Sadamatu. Make your comment.
1 second.
The question should be why.
Yeah.
Why?
DJS is not responsible for Joseph Boyka.
But why?
You understand Joseph Boyka?
Is there anything wrong with JMB that people don't support him?
Yeah.
You want me to
I'm giving Sadamatu preference here. Please speak.
I beg y'all. Yeah. Let me finish. Number two. Didn't they kick the woman out of the party and went to Fanny Sherman to help win the election? That's not true.
Tomorrow. Okay.
EJS is not responsible for Ambassador.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm an EJS girl and I still supported Joseph Boyka. That's not her responsibility. Her responsibility was to campaign and win the election.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your voice. Mr. Fagon, you always bring spice to the show. Thank you so much. Good day. Thank you very much. Al Hussein, thank you for your
contribution. We'll be tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll
be at
Thank you so much for your contribution. Mr. Wazi, even though you say I know you got fish to fry, whatever it is. Thank you so much. It's been a great show. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Mr. Fagon.
Yeah.
ANC get money, they get no more.
Was he said they got money, but he got no more? Then they fair.
Yeah, their number, their basis, their number imaginary.
Their number imaginary. Like who may talk you? Oh.
They get plenty money, but they get money pass him up. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. The team will be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.